I'm a fish boy who skates for Team X Blades with a leprechaun who plays basketball. Come to my smart house, meet my alien sister. Don't come hungry, because I'll bet my mom can't cook.
Hello and welcome to Mom Can't Cook, a Decom podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Luke Westaway.
Yeah, and I'm Andy Farron, the other host. Welcome. Probably we don't need to do all this, Luke, because I thought of a great get-rich-quick scheme, which means we can sack off this whole podcast. We don't have to do it anymore. Just going to make loads and loads of money.
Okay, that'd be brilliant. Okay, what is it? What is it? Tell me quick.
Well, okay, so it's a bit inspired by this week's movie, Encino Woman, right? It got me thinking, why don't we just take an existing film with man in the title and then we'll change it to woman, and it's a whole new movie, isn't it? And then we'll get all the money from that. So think about it, like the running woman.
The running woman, that's good.
Yeah, it's about a woman who goes running.
The wicker woman.
The wicker woman. It's about a policeman who gets imprisoned in a big wicker woman. She's got like a wicker bow on her head. It's like Ms. Pac-Man, so you know it's a woman.
A sexy lady wicker man.
A sexy lady wicker man. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Demolition Woman. She gets
Demolition
frozen
woman. That's good.
into the future. What about
the elephant woman?
The elephant woman. Okay. And I mean, what could be more zeitgeisty than the Womandalorian and Grogu?
The Womandalorian and Grogu. Yes, no, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, well, I mean, it's that or talk about Encino Woman, and I really don't want to talk about Encino Woman, because I think, and I know I say this so much it's lost all meaning, this might be the worst film I've ever seen.
Honestly, okay, I was going to, yes, I think this might be the worst one. Okay, let's hear, I don't even know, okay, there's no trailer for this one, and we'll get into why after you've heard it, but what it does have is a Michael Eisner introduction. Michael Eisner, in case you're not aware, if you're a newish listener, was the boss of Disney at the time when this movie came out. He is mostly fondly remembered by us for his almost endless series of bad decisions.
And his attempts to position himself as the sort of heir to Walt Disney by doing like charming intros to movies when he has zero charm or sort of warm qualities.
Yeah, that's right.
The most sort of awkward
corpo
energy.
overlord. Yeah.
So
okay, anyway, here's Michael Eisner to tell you a little bit about Encino Woman, sort of.
You'll have to agree that tonight's story of boy meets girl is a little unusual. It's not every day you meet a million-year-old cave woman. Hello, I'm Michael Eisner, head of the Walt Disney Company. The idea of finding prehistoric beings is not that far-fetched. I mean, not long ago in Europe, the frozen remains of a prehistoric man were found in the Alps, buried in a glacier. Unfortunately, he didn't come to life. I understand that prehistoric women have yet to be found. That is, until tonight's amazing discovery. Speaking of prehistoric women, a little problem has come up that I have to deal with. Enjoy the rest of tonight's feature. So, how long has your girlfriend been missing?
So at the end there, Michael Eisner sat down on a sofa with a caveman, and the caveman went...
Yeah, the caveman came to Michael Eisner because his girlfriend has gone missing, and he thought, I guess he thought Michael Eisner was involved. The chief suspect.
He wanted to say, listen, Michael, before I go to the police, I want to give you one chance to not get the authorities involved.
Just tell me where my cave woman girlfriend is.
Just tell me where she is. We don't have to get the feds involved.
It's also worth pointing out that while the cave woman in this movie, it sort of looks like a normal person.
Yeah.
The face on this caveman is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Sort of ape-like twisted mask of like rage and confusion. And he's just sat in Michael Eisner's actual office in furs holding a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God. Okay, so we need to give you a bit of context on Encino Woman because it is a truly remarkable cultural artifact, actually. So it's part of the ABC wonderful world of Disney. So it's not a decom by the legal definition, but it is a Disney-produced television movie that went out on ABC in 1996. And it is especially notable for the fact that it aired once, never re-aired, and was never re-released in any way on kind of home video. There's no VHS, there's no DVD, which is really, really rare. Most of these movies that we cover on this podcast were played to death because the whole point was to fill airtime on these channels that Disney found itself in charge of or aligned with, and they kind of needed minutes to fill the airwaves. So for Encino Woman to have only been broadcast once is quite remarkable. And the only way we're able to watch it is because TV archivists have posted it on YouTube, complete with all the commercials that were in the breaks.
Yeah, I think it was considered lost media up until a couple of years ago,
Yes.
I think, when someone discovered it on a VHS tape. Because as Luke says, it was never rebroadcast. And I guess it just lived on a master tape somewhere that no one had any access to. So without these people posting this on YouTube, this would be a lost movie, never to be seen again.
Now, there's two explanations, possible explanations as to why. The first is that Disney thought, wouldn't it be kind of cute if this movie about a woman from a lost time itself became lost media, and maybe one day when the internet is born, it could be thawed out and put on YouTube in a sort of
and disrupt
parable.
everything.
Yeah, and disrupt everything. And it in a way that kind of mirrors, the plot of the movie. That's one possibility. The other is that this film is so dog that Disney never re-aired it because they are rightly ashamed. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to call this film Eisner's Shame. Do you?
Yeah, that's a better title for it, I think.
Yeah.
If it just came up in the Encino Woman font.
Yeah.
Eisner's Shame.
Spelled out in comic bones.
Yeah, it is a shame because this movie is ostensibly a sequel to Encino Man.
Yes,
which is the 1992 Brendan Fraser movie with Sean Astin and Pauly Shore. Kei Hai Kwan is in it as well, about a caveman who unfreezes in Encino. In Europe, it was called California Man because people don't know what Encino is over here. But I rewatched Encino Man as well in preparation for this podcast, and it's again not a brilliant movie, but it is night and day compared to Encino Woman. It's got characters, it's got jokes, it's got fun things that happen.
Yeah.
It's got sort of some degree of plot and peril and narrative drive. Yeah, I know. It's not just a series of awful scenes.
Encino Woman is just a series of awful scenes of unbelievably weak characters sort of talking, achieving nothing, doing nothing, but everything they say is kind of reprehensible. For some reason, they decided that what this film is going to be, rather than being a caper about what if a cave woman was alive in modern times, instead of that, it's a sort of excoriating look at Hollywood.
Yeah, on the fashion industry.
The fashion industry, but a sort of exaggerated, LA parody of a kind of the phrase that kept coming to mind when I watched this was Holly weird, you know?
Right, yeah.
If you want to be kind of whoa, oh boy, what are they up to on the coast now? Those sort of, it's always one thing or another. What fad
Chardonnay
diet?
swilling coastal elites,
Yeah. What's it going to be now? Except it was all completely ridiculous, and I don't care, and it's so stupid, and it's none of this film is about a cave woman doing cave woman things.
No, none of it really. It matters that she's a cave woman.
No,
which is wild.
She's only a cave woman for the first 20 minutes, and then she's just a woman.
And then she's just a sort of mute, angry fashion model.
It's repulsive. I think it's only excused to some degree by the way that it's from 1996, and I suppose if I was being charitable, I would sort of look at it as a product of its time. But it's oh my god, it's pretty grim, it's pretty bleak. There's just basically nothing to recommend it. So who's ready for 2 hours of hearing about it?
Let's go. Before we start, Luke, how you doing with you had your tonsils out?
Oh, we did
recently.
Yeah. You
did. Are you okay? You okay to talk for 2 hours?
I'm okay to talk for 2 hours.
Mashed up throat.
If it's about Encino Woman. Only if it's about Encino Woman. I'll risk all sorts of damage.
I say this with the caveat that I have had tonsillitis once and it was awful. No one takes you seriously because they're just a bit of a sore throat, is it?
Bit of a sore throat, yeah.
It's worse. So I say this with that caveat, but did you feel like everyone was pitying you for having a children's disease, even though you're an adult?
Yes, and because it's massively disruptive to have a tonsillectomy of the kind that I had, because it's like it's weeks where you can't really talk or do anything, and the pain is really quite severe. But when you tell people, they're like, oh yeah, they'll say like, oh yeah, my nephew had that when he was 5.
Yeah. Did you get all the ice cream you wanted afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. People say like, oh, eat lots of ice cream. And I'm like, well, actually, doctors recommend to prevent a bleed, the best thing is to just sort of eat normally, even though it's agony.
Yeah.
So I've, just been eating normally and it's agony.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe have a lollipop.
You go, oh, what are you getting next? Chicken pox?
Yeah. Well, look, if I could have been inoculated against it, anyway, I should have had my tonsils out when I was a kid, but I didn't. So now I had to have them nuked with a golden eye laser from, which is how it feels.
So at some point during this podcast, Luke's throat might fall out, but we'll see how we go.
I'll tell you what the weirdest thing is. Now I'm basically recovered at this point still, but like the geography of my throat and my mouth has changed, and I don't know anymore how to stop a sneeze. So when you when you do a sneeze and you go like like that, if it's not polite or appropriate to sneeze at the time, you can kind of stifle it. So when I try doing that, it makes this crazy noise and it hurts so much because
and a chunk of your voice box comes out.
Yeah, right. All of the airflow around my throat is completely different.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to need to figure out a new muscle memory for stifling a sneeze or something.
Oh, that's so interesting. Has it changed like your singing voice or anything?
Maybe. I haven't really tried doing any singing yet.
Oh, wow.
But it could have got worse or it could have got better.
Imagine if you sort of got over it and you just had a completely different voice. You sounded like Bobcat Goldthwait. Who's in this movie, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Encino Woman. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, we open on titles that read North America, 300,020 BC. Don't know why the 20, whatever.
That's pretty funny.
Where men were men and women were freezing, there lived a people whom time forgot.
Why were just the women freezing?
I don't know. Is it because they're wearing furry bikinis? Is that the implication? We don't see it. You can't see anything here. There's no sort of visuals to speak of.
Yeah.
It says a brave people, a strong people, a people without earthquake insurance, brackets bummer. And Andy, I appreciate the way you just sort of let that hang in the air. That was appropriate. That was exactly the right response.
It's just already... Can you imagine turning this in to Disney?
I think this is legitimate. Well, I think this earthquake insurance gag is probably the best gag in the film.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's bad. But
yeah.
I think it's downhill from here. Over this, we see a cave woman dying in an earthquake. So that's fun.
Yeah. We cut from that joke to people having sex in a car next to the Hollywood sign. And suddenly there's an earthquake.
Well, there isn't. The camera operator sort of waves the camera around in a particularly lackluster, it's nearly lunch kind of way. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
At the risk of sounding like another podcast, how did this get made?
How did this? I don't know.
I honestly don't know. No one involved is doing anything with any degree of care or love or passion for this project. No. Everyone is just like phoning this in. Why make this film? Why?
I don't know. Like, no one was...
Disney didn't want it.
No one was making them make this. I often feel like with films like this, it feels like there was a miscommunication. And like, do you know how people get invited to weddings and they don't want to go and the people don't want them there, but there's some sort of miscommunication or misunderstanding that means like, oh, I think they're expecting an invite. This feels like that, like it was a sort of awkward social situation where like, oh God, I'm going to ask them to make Encino Man, even though I don't want them to. And then they were like, oh God, they've asked me to make Encino Man. They're
going to ask me to make Encino Woman. I really don't want to make it, but Eisner's insisting, and Eisner's like, oh, I've got to ask him, or else he's gonna do something drastic.
Yeah,
He's going to come into the Disney studios wearing a fake bomb vest, and it's going to be a whole thing.
We got to stop that.
We're going to give him Encino Woman.
Okay. So the couple, disturbed from their lovemaking by an earthquake, turn on the car radio. It says on the radio that the earthquake registered a 6, but boy, wow, not much chance of an aftershock. So they go back to and then there is an aftershock and they go, whoa, and sort of fall over in the car.
Yeah.
Then the camera pans over the sun-baked Hollywood landscape past a big glittering diamond heap that I guess has been unearthed by the earthquake. It's, I don't know, it's just a load of plastic diamonds. And to a female figure silhouetted against the cityscape.
She holds a spear over her head and sort of roars. We cut to downtown Los Angeles.
My note, so that was it. She's thawed off camera.
She's thawed off.
We don't even see her thaw. We don't even see the glacier from which she emerges. Wait, maybe that's what the diamonds were supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be ice.
There you go.
Maybe. Okay.
It's flawless.
Yeah.
So we see there's traffic in LA. We see a man in a convertible car. His name is David Hosenfelt. He asks in his own mind, what makes a man a man? Why, it's fast cars, high income, and babes falling at his feet.
He says likably. This is, in fact, going to be our main character. Will his personality change, you're wondering? No, is the answer. He says he's David Hosenfelt, and this is the story of how I fell in love with a cavewoman. This really, really, really seems like that thing where it's voiceover added in post because the events of the film were unclear.
He's listening to a kind of self-improvement tape in his car radio. It's telling him he's a winner. He owns his own universe. He is special, and special people win. David's repeating all of this. But then the tape gets all mangled. Oh, no.
Yep.
Someone honks at him, and he says, take a chill pill, guy. I'm a winner, likably.
And then he throws the tape into traffic, likably. He smells himself, and we see that he stinks, likably. So he slathers aftershave all over himself.
Yeah, so this kind of stinking Leisure Suit Larry character is our protagonist. But then he is suddenly a feral woman, jumps onto his car and snarls at him. It's the cave woman from earlier.
Yeah. She sort of menaces him with her spear. And he goes, you're invading my space. Boundaries, lady. In a kind of 1996 therapy language is new and funny kind of way.
Yeah. He honks at her and she flees. And then he says, maybe I should have asked her out.
Likably.
Likably. We now get a montage of the cave woman walking down Hollywood Boulevard being observed by people.
Yes.
She sees some inflatable dinosaurs outside of a store and she stabs them with her spear. Mm-hmm. She sprints at some people who takes pictures of her.
Yeah, there's a weird shot where she sprints into a crowd of tourists waving her spear and they all sort of scatter. And there are enough people in the shot that I'm not convinced they're actors or extras because it's more extras than this film has at any other point. So I'm pretty sure they just got her to run into a crowd with a spear and filmed everyone's natural reactions.
Just start stabbing people in the legs. Yeah. The similar scene in Encino Man is Brendan Fraser. He wakes up in a sort of suburban neighborhood and he's going around and he gets sort of startled by a garbage truck. It makes noises similar to a sort of mammoth.
Yes.
And he sort of fights the garbage truck. He sort of takes some mail from a postman and he sort of bites the string off it and keeps the string and throws the package away. It's all quite well done and quite fun.
Thoughtful.
Whereas this is just her just assaulting people in the street.
But the problem is, and this is the problem with the whole film, they don't want to do what if a cave person.
Yeah.
They want to do what if LA was all weird. and that's so what we have here is basically it's the comedy in this scene, and I use the term advisedly.
Yeah.
Derives from this cave woman sprinting past LA types, you know? So we see LA folks in all their brashness and local colour. They're using slang and exclaiming things, and they're all dressed in sort of high fashion and being weird and wacky. We see her jump over a load of cars, and she lands in a dumpster. And having found somewhere secluded, she pulls a discarded welcome mat over her face and rests peacefully in garbage.
Yeah, it's almost like someone had a script for a sort of biting satire of the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And then got the gig to make this cave woman movie. And they're like, well, those two things will go together easily. I'll just find and replace model with cave woman. Job
Chocolate
done.
And peanut butter, this combination.
No, this doesn't work at all. So she's just basically gone around and assaulted a bunch of people.
Fine. And we cut into a big bin.
We cut to an advertising agency, B&C Advertising. David is here. He's it's where he works. He sits Riker style on a chair and then he falls over out of it, likably. Hi, date me, he says to one of his co-workers.
Yeah.
She looks sort of afraid and runs off.
It's not clear what David's job is. His job seems to be to harass the women who work at this office. We cut to a coffee point. We hear the radio is blaring out the news. It says, a strange sighting beneath what is left of the Hollywood sign. Perfectly preserved bowls, tools and animal skins have been unearthed. Dave says nice dress to a random woman who passes him in a kind of sort of desperate, sweaty way.
All he's done so far is just hit on women at work. He's not done any actual work yet.
We don't see him do any work, no.
No, a work bully called Roger comes up and starts negging David. David says he's ready for a change. A sex change? Asks Roger, likably. No, today's the day I ask for a promotion, says David. His work contribution so far, I remind you, is 2 sexual harassments and eating some free muffins.
Yeah. So he's desperate to ask for this big promotion. Roger says he has to go because he's got a crucial meeting with Marvin, who is the boss of this ad agency. We cut to the meeting. It's a pitch. They're pitching to a perfume maker. No, it's not a perfume maker. It's like a sort of fashion house, I think. A fashion brand.
Yeah, it's basically like Jean-Paul Gaultier. So it's like a guy, but also a label. The boss, Marvin, he's the dad from My Date with the President's Daughter. The dad who isn't the president, the other dad.
It's a much less exciting dad from that film.
Yeah. He's sort of explaining what advertising is, which, fine.
He says it in the most weird way, though, like the most overtly evil way. He's dressed evil. He's dressed kind of like Dracula. And he says, we here at B&C understand how compelling it is to tease, to seduce, to give the morose masses a thrill, give them a fantasy they can hold on to when their significant other turns away from them in the marital bed. Like, what? I feel like Marvin is bringing his own baggage to this meeting. You know?
Yeah, right.
Something that they can purchase when Stella says she's going to stay with her sister again.
Yeah, even though you know for a fact that her sister is out of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's sort of edging away from him. Yeah. They play the commercial that they've whipped up for this fashion house. It's classical music. A woman is destroying a teddy bear. It is for Primal perfume by Jean-Michel. He asks, what do people think of it? And we see that Jean-Michel is there. He is a sort of caricature of a French fashion designer, played by John Cassier, who was the voice of the Crypt Keeper from HBO's Tales from the Crypt.
Wow. Okay. Good find.
Yeah.
Great pull.
Good stuff.
He says very, very, very Frenchly that he hates it. He says, someone get me a latte quick before I have a stroke. And then he sort of pantomime faints around the room for ages.
Jean-Michel was having some kind of episode about how bad this commercial was. He says, the actress, she looked like a boy. She doesn't have hips, doesn't have cleavage. Get real, Marvin. Androgyny is dead. I'm not interested in transcending gender. Get me a real woman. I want an animal to represent my perfume, he said.
Get real, Marvin. Androgyny is dead. I'm not interested in transcending gender. I made a perfume for women called Primal. Now get me a woman. I want an animal to represent my perfume. Fiona, fan me. Now. Now. Now!
So, astonishingly, it fell to the character of Jean-Michel to establish the plot and stakes of this movie. But there we go.
Yes, he's got a sort of cave woman-themed perfume, and he needs a cave woman-type woman to promote it.
Do you know how in Armageddon there's the sort of meta gag that it's easier to train oil drill workers to be astronauts than it is to train astronauts to drill oil?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this film kind of has the same problem where it's like, oh, it's impossible to get a modern person to convincingly act like a cave woman. Like, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't think it. I mean,
how about this?
I mean, judging by this film, yes, it is.
Yeah, fair point. This movie itself is evidence that you cannot convincingly get a person to act like a cave creature.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Marvin is like yelling at Roger now. He's, kind of rolls downhill thing. He's like, Roger, get me an animal.
Yeah, he's storming around the office, yelling at people. He's like, you're all useless, you're all fired unless you find me an animal for tomorrow's Primal shoot.
Find me an animal for the Primal shoot. I want a woman who is an animal, he says.
Yeah, and then he says, don't look at me like that. I married 2 of them myself. I have their heads mounted on my living room wall, brackets, exclamation mark.
He continues on his rampage. He goes up to one woman and snaps her pencil for no reason. So he's sort of evil Marvin the boss is kind of running around the room just screaming at everyone, telling them they're fired, etc. Dave, who has a superhuman inability to read a room, chooses this moment to approach Marvin and say, hello, Marvin, how about promotion, please? please.
He's like, I deserve a promotion. I've hit on 2 women already this morning. Those are kind of numbers that deserve a promotion.
Yeah, and look how many muffins I've housed. He says that he's always coming up with new concepts. He's zeroing in and thinking long term. He says he owns his own universe, which is from his self-help tape, and he's a winner, and he wants to be an ad executive. When Marvin realizes that Dave is asking for a promotion, there is a moment of silence, and then he starts laughing uncontrollably, maniacally. He says, yes, David, I think we can do that. And David says, really? And Marvin says, no. He's fired, actually.
Yeah, he gets fired, actually. Roger, who's the work bully, he says, don't worry, David. Try talking to him tomorrow at the photo shoot. He'll be around a couple of models and therefore will be a regular bowl of hiring putty. So every man in this movie so far is just a sort of sex creep, just generally.
I'm struggling to identify the protagonist in this film, was the note I had at the time. Like, I can't tell who's supposed to be the goodie. I guess it's Dave because he's kind of an underdog. But maybe Marvin is the hero of the film because he's done something bad to Dave by firing him. And I root for anyone who's doing bad things to Dave because he seems reprehensible. Also, oh my God. Okay, so Marvin storms off and there's a flock of PAs kind of going after him and he goes, call my liposuction guy. I'm still sagging, in a sort of LA way. And the note I have is that I find LA as a sort of comedy premise so tedious. Like, it's so played. It's so boring. I couldn't care less. And the fact that films that are like, oh, LA, Hollywood, are all made in LA, or I called it Helle. That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's a better name for it. LA. They should call it Helle.
Wait, there's that bit in Die Hard where Bruce Willis, he arrives at LA on his plane.
Yes.
And he just sort of sees like a blonde woman and he goes, LA.
Only in California. Yeah. And it's like...
what? What? Yeah, they have women here.
Yeah, that's annoying in Die Hard. And it's one line in a good film from 1989 or something? California, man. And it's like I don't know. I don't care. It's not interesting. Maybe if I was American and was exposed more regularly to LA stuff, but I feel like I get it, you know? It's like they do diets and they spend money on coffees. I get it. But
I mean, LA as a place, we've both been many times to Los Angeles, and it has a unique character amongst American cities. Certainly, there's things you can make fun of. I went out for dinner with some friends in Los Angeles, and we went to a Mexican restaurant that was famous for its flaming margaritas. And we got there, and I said, should we get some of these? But everyone had driven there, even the ones who lived 10 minutes walk away. And half of them were on Ozempic, so they weren't eating anything anyway.
Right.
So I was the only one who ate anything and the only one who drank anything because everyone else was on diet drugs or driving.
Ozempic. Okay.
Yeah.
Were they also sort of wearing big troll wigs? And were they sort of firing Ozempic into their eyes and sort of screaming at PAs over the phone?
And asking for room temperature water and then spitting in the face of the waiter if it wasn't. Yeah.
It's like,
no, they were just normal guys. So
the problem is that this is where this film has settled on, this is what we're going to do, and this is where the comedy is going to come from, and it's already boring after the first scene, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's not going to involve any more caveman stuff. So,
that's the great thing about California Man or Encino Man. That it involves a bunch of caveman stuff.
Yeah.
And it sort of deals with what it would be like for a caveman to wake up in the modern era. Whereas this film absolutely isn't interested in that as a concept. It doesn't care. What it wants to do is poke fun at those damn LA fashion types. And again, this is airing on ABC for families and stuff. Who is this hitting with?
Who's this for? I don't know. Is it for the rest of America who might enjoy 90 minutes of sort of ragging on coastal elites, you know? They could sit at home and go it is like that, I bet.
Yeah, they probably do dress like that, I bet.
Yeah, and then they can look at their children and say, you'd better not aspire to be one of them and move there.
No, it's wild. So we cut to Encino Woman. She's climbing into cars. She gets in the back of David's convertible and he drives away. He parks up and goes into his house, and then suddenly Encino Woman sort of overpowers him and starts sort of beating his ass all over his house.
Yeah, she does a sort of video game stealth kill on him. She's She's like kind of shaking him around. She's stabbing him with the spear and roaring in his face. You should enjoy this, by the way, listener. It's the best bit of the film. She shoves him through the front door and then chases him inside the house, and like she sort of circles him warily and aggressively with the spear. He's obviously frightened and begging for his life and scared. Which is good. He offers her his wallet. She starts smashing his furniture. She sees some potpourri on the table and a papier-mâché apple and tries to eat both because she doesn't know that this is good. This is good. I don't want to denigrate what they're doing here, because this is what the whole film should be. She's like, she tries to eat potpourri because she sees it and thinks it might be food.
I think I think you're right. The whole film should be her kicking the shit out of David.
Yeah, and trying to eat potpourri.
For 90 minutes.
Yeah, it should. She sees his cat.
Fatalities on him and stuff.
Yeah, she sees his cat called Furball and starts licking her lips, going like, a cat. And then she runs into the kitchen to kill and eat Furball.
Yeah, sort of underneath this, there's like fun reggae music playing, so you know that it's fun.
Yeah, so you know that it's fun. In case you were thinking that watching a woman try and kill a cat with a spear wouldn't be fun, it's like...
Yeah. She gets into David's fridge and starts eating all his food and like rubbing ham on her face and stuff for quite a while.
Yeah, she does like sort of prop business with sheets of ham for about 60 seconds. For example, she puts it on her head.
That's enough, says David. Don't you? You're going to get fat, he tells her.
Jesus.
So, yeah, the protagonist again, I remind you.
She leaps off the countertop and starts stabbing him more with a spear. He backs out of the kitchen and tells her it's not that she isn't attractive, but she reeks. And then, in an odd directorial decision, she leaps onto him with overpowering Neanderthal strength and starts kissing him hard on the mouth, which he is powerless to stop.
Yeah, David is sort of saying that he's not into this and he doesn't enjoy it, but it continues.
Yeah. So he backs away scared. She's got a sort of like manic, filthy grin now, a sort of predatory look. He says this is what they call sexual harassment. And he says it in a sort of 1996, this is a funny new term way.
Yeah. She pins him to a wall with a spear and starts sort of clapping. And then more music starts playing to let you know that this is fun.
This is fun, yeah. He runs to the living room. She tackles him to the ground and starts forcing herself on him again. And the music goes like... the note I have is funny music plays, as you might imagine, it has to be pretty funny music.
Yeah.
Hard to think of a time when music's had to do this much heavy lifting.
this much work to convince you that what you're seeing is funny, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time for another female character. A woman walks in. She's wrapped head to toe in cling film and wearing water wings and has a sort of green liquid on her face.
Yeah, a sort of comedy green
take
face
all
mask.
that in.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're like, isn't it, LA women?
LA women, you have to imagine. We see here are the two types of women and cave women.
Stinking feral women and sort of women who put stuff all over their faces to try and stay young.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we up to? The woman's
the character
running.
Chris has entered.
Yeah, she goes,
she says,
David,
my God.
You got a date.
She looks at this cave woman's sexual assault happening in her living room and is delighted by it.
Yeah.
She says, David.
You got a date.
You got a date.
This woman, who is not named, I think, for the whole film.
She's called Chris, I think.
She's called Chris, yeah.
I figured it out like 2/3 of the way through. I was like, I need to know this person's name because my notes are getting unreadable.
Exactly. It's driving me crazy. Like, is she... And it's not clear who she is for ages either. It's like, is it Dave's sister?
Girlfriend? Ex-girlfriend? Roommate?
Flatmate? I don't know. But yeah, she's Chris. She's an ex of Dave's who Dave lives with. And she's played by Annabelle Gurwitch, who wins the prize for currently most famous because apart from this lost media film, she's had a very successful career as an actor and author. You may have heard of some of her books, so Google them if you like. But here she is, unfortunately, Chris, wrapped in cellophane and like coated in face mask.
Yeah, we learn... and. This can't be right, but it says in my notes it's made of mashed infant poop and aloe.
No, that is what she says.
Really?
Yeah. So we cut to like it's nighttime. They're in nighttime now. They're out in the garden, and the cave woman is up a tree, sort of eyeing them suspiciously.
Yeah.
And Chris explains her face mask is baby poo and aloe. It's pure, she says. Pure baby poo? How could baby poo be? Do you mean like it's come straight from the baby? No one's added any, for example, antibacterial agents.
Yeah, or fragrance. Just, yeah.
The thing you want to do with baby poo is get it really close to your like tear ducts and mouth. Yeah.
David asks why she does this to herself. A fair question.
Yes.
She says she's improving herself. She asks if David's going to call the cops about this cave woman who assaulted him. And he says, what am I going to tell them? An insane woman came into my house, scoffed all my food, and then had her way with me. That's a normal Saturday night for most guys. Brackets question mark.
Is
it, David?
Yeah. What the hell is he on about? I know what they mean. He means to say that, like, oh, this smoking hot babe has broken into my house and wants to kiss me. The cops aren't going to take that seriously. But this film can't even get that rancid joke right. It phrases it so stupidly. It's like, it's not a normal Saturday night for most guys.
No, it sounds traumatic for any guy.
It sounds traumatic. And even if the gag is supposed to be like, oh, the police won't take it seriously because they'll just be like, wow, good on you, fella. And this is supposed to be some kind of problem or something.
Yeah.
That it's not a normal Saturday night. It would be like, within the context of the joke they're trying to do, it would be like a special treat, a miraculous event for most guys.
So the joke would be like, they'd be saying, what are you complaining about? I wish that happened to me.
Yeah. Exactly. So annoying.
Again, it's worth pointing out that Encino Woman at this point is caked in about 3 feet of like mud and feces and blackened teeth.
Yeah.
And is brandishing a spear.
So anyway, Chris observes this cave woman up a tree and then just sort of spins on her heel and leaves the film for ages, and we leave Dave and the cave woman staring gormlessly at each other, and there's some more pointless voiceover from Dave. Here it is.
Who are you, anyway? My parents never warned me that things like this could happen. They just said I'd catch a cold if I forgot my sweater. How was I supposed to handle this? I was a delicate guy. She wouldn't stop staring at me, but I hid my fear. I looked calm. I didn't want her to jump me again. Maybe this time she'd win.
So, another thing about this movie that is special is because it's lost media and only now hosted on YouTube, complete with all the ads, is that when you watch this film, you can also see all of the 1996 adverts that were airing on ABC at the time.
Yeah, this is, I think, from a Rochester, New York television station.
Yes.
So you get some kind of snippets of local Rochester news from 1996. You get local Rochester businesses, the weather, of course.
Did you watch the adverts?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I watched the adverts. Also, it's worth pointing out that this is the point where Michael Eisner's intro comes in.
Yes.
So it doesn't come in before the movie. He interrupts the movie not to apologise.
Sorry about the way it's going.
Guys, I swear there's only 40 or 50 minutes left. We can get through this. We can get through this together.
With ads, there's loads of minutes left. Like, whenever I'm in the US, I love to watch American TV because it's so sort of like interesting to see that. But I don't think I've ever actually watched a full TV movie with the ads.
Yeah.
The video on YouTube is 2 hours long, which means there is 30 full minutes that is just adverts. There are, and I'm addressing now American listeners. I know it's too late and now it's all Netflix and you don't watch ads on TV anymore, but you should have done something to stop this. It's too much. I don't know what
point where you could have stepped in. Yeah,
you could have stepped. Yeah, I mean, if you were listening to this, you were probably a child at the time. You should have told your parents that they have to do something about this. You should have, if you were watching movies like this, you should have turned to your parents and said, "Parents, this has to stop. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't go on. One of you needs to invent Netflix and kill this industry." Or something, right? Because this can't be the way it's supposed to go. There are so many ads.
It's this bad now when I'm a child. When I'm an adult, it will be worse.
It will be worse.
So do something now.
Anyway, I did write down what all the ads are because it's a real treat.
Yeah, I wrote down some highlights from each ad break, which I will be bringing up. I think from this one, probably the Carnation baby milk advert. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Carnation Good Start baby formula. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Sears Day, 6 to 30% off tyres at Sears. What else we got?
Subway have a steak sandwich for $1.99. That's pretty good.
Yeah, there are new Dodges if you want to buy one of them. Pine Sol Professional Strength is 40% stronger than the usual Pine Sol. There's an all-new second Noah, which is at this point we're just advertising other TV.
This is an ABC sitcom starring James Marsden. Yeah, this is pretty
curtains.
Good.
Yeah. Comedy Club Superstars.
There's a bit in the middle of the ad break to like reassure you that the movie is coming back because the ad break is so
I
long.
thought that was insane. Now I bet I bet if you're listening in the US, that just strikes you as normal. But like, so the Disney interstitial comes back, and you're like, okay, right, back to the movie, and it goes, ABC presents Wonderful World of Disney. We'll be back soon, we promise. And then it goes to like an advert for Good Season's Italian salad dressing, and the same amount of ads again, and it's like. What? You have to put a thing in the middle of the ads to remind you that this isn't all it's going to be.
It's like a gentle hand on your elbow, like dragging you back. You're wandering off. And it's like, no. It's coming back.
We're working around to something here. PetSmart is offering savings of 20 cents per can on dog food. The Honda Odyssey, you can lease it for $279 a month. Domino's mega deal. Did the Bills score big in the NFL draft? Television asks you. The answer is coming tonight at 11, which I thought was fascinating because it's just a good little time capsule of how the TV held you hostage.
Yeah.
All the way through, these ads are promising that they will tell you what the news of the day is and the sports results of the day tonight, and they know that you have no way of finding out until
way of finding out. Yeah. It's like, someone in your town died. Find out who at 11.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
what?
my gosh.
Oh no.
Yeah, good luck without the internet, you clowns.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're back to the film after that.
David leaves his house while sort of weird porno music plays. His suit is torn, so he just has the one. The next day, she wasn't there, he says, and I was glad because I was determined to get my job back and reclaim my life. So yeah, Encino Woman has wandered off somewhere, probably having fun cavewoman adventures.
Probably.
But we're going to stay with David and his advertising job.
We're going to stay with likeable David, the stinking sex pest. We see the shoot that he's attending. It is full of, you guessed it, LA types.
Yeah.
We meet the director of the commercial. He's a British man bedecked in jewellery. He talks like this and goes, oh, come on, give me fierce, give me vogue.
We're losing daylight. We meet the model called Ivana. She is an idiot.
Yeah.
You may be surprised to hear, and has sort of fake lips.
She stumbles onto set 2 hours late. She talks about collagen injections and partying. The director is cross. He says, this is a profession, Ivana, and we're all professionals here. And Ivana says, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I got paid $20,000 an hour because I'm an amateur! She's sort of, she's being unreasonable.
And people in Rochester, New York nod their heads and say that is probably what they're like.
That is probably exactly what it's like. It's probably happening right now.
Yeah.
But like a few hours behind. That'll probably happen later.
That'll happen in 5 hours. So yeah, they're doing this shoot, and Ivana is not giving the photographer the animal that they need for this Primal perfume from Jean-Michel. This all feels improvised by unskilled improvisers.
Yes,
I would say if they wrote this down, then for shame.
I transcribed what the director's direction.
Oh, okay, let's hear it. Yeah.
Give me that animal now. You prey on the innocent. You seduce men that mean nothing to you. We're just little bunny men. Oh, look, there goes one now. You're going to eat its brain. Yes, come on. You're a wild animal. You're running free on the tundra. You're running wild. You're chasing tourists. You're clawing, and it's like a wild animal park. You're on the hood. You're looking in. You're fascinated by the windshield wipers. You don't know what they mean. You are woman, fountain of life. The guy playing the director nervously eyes the real director as a way to say, may I stop?
Yes. He shakes his head solemnly.
He realises that as well as playing the director, he must direct this film simultaneously.
Yeah. He makes a sort of clockwise motion with his hands. Keep going.
Keep going.
Windshield wipers. You don't know what they mean.
Fountain.
You're in an animal park. You're a fountaining woman.
You're an animal park. Anyway. So Ivana poses up obligingly, but the director's not feeling it. She's just not really authentically feral. Ivana is being a modern LA woman.
Yeah.
She's obsessed with collagen and partying and is incapable of going, ugh, so she can't do it.
Yeah. Can't do it.
We see Marvin and Roger observing from the sidelines. They're
being
perving.
Sex creeps. Yeah. Jean-Michel comes in. He says, greetings, boils and ghouls. He doesn't. He comes in and the model cries and hugs him. David enters and approaches Marvin, and he says that, again, with a supernatural inability to read the room, he says maybe they can reassess the him being fired situation.
And Marvin just says simply, get out of my face. But then, in Marvin's peripheral vision, he sees, what's this? A stinking homunculus crouched behind a green screen. We recognise it as the cavewoman.
There's a sudden grunting. What is that? They say, says David, and he is suddenly leapt upon and assaulted by the Encino Woman.
Let's hear some of this. You'll also hear Ivana and Jean-Michel and the director. So it's a real who's who of bad characters in this film.
You know that?
Well, she's, it's my, cousin.
Oh, God, what is she doing?
She's smelling our cologne. You and I wear the same cologne because we're of like mind.
Get out of here. Get out of here. You and your squalid cousin, and you're fired again. You nauseate me, and she needs a bath.
And then my car broke down, and when I got here, there was no hot water in my dressing room, and every time I would go to start, they wouldn't.
All right. Enough dissension and yak. Oh, I'm so exhausted. What, is everyone a debutante? Ivana, just do the shoot. Or the next time you walk down a runway, it'll be in overalls to flag in aeroplanes.
I have an idea, everyone. Why don't we play some music? Would that do the trick, darling?
So at the end there, the director suggests putting on some music to try and get Ivana into the primal mood. And he puts on this sort of patronising tribal percussion.
Yeah.
Immediately, we see cavewoman is like activated, like something goes off in her brain.
Yeah, she jumps in front of the camera and starts shimmying around the place like a mum at a wedding.
That is such a concise description of the dance. I really struggled to describe this dance.
Oh, okay.
And you've got it.
Did you have a go?
Yeah, but I think you did it. I wrote, it's like they worked from the starting point of, we want a wiggling, hip-shaking, sexy dance, but imagine if you were a cave woman who had never seen MTV, so sometimes you sort of do chicken movements with your arms.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Like that, yeah.
So there's a big perfume bottle on the set, a big Primal perfume bottle. She sort of jumps on that and starts writhing all over it. Jean-Michel is loving this. She's still wearing her sort of like caveman animal skins. I've written here, there is no way her whole vagina isn't visible to everyone on this set.
So Jean-Michel is loving this. Yeah. He goes, who is these? Who is responsible for these? Marvin indicates Dave and says, oh, he's responsible. Don't worry, I've already fired him. Marvin's trying to wrestle the cave woman away and she bites him hard on the hand. Yeah. And as you can probably imagine, Jean-Michel is like, how could you fire the man who has saved my primal campaign? Well, I actually think she's perfect for the shoot. Who is this? And thinking fast, Dave says her name is Lucy. I don't know where he's got Lucy from.
There was a famous Australopithecus skeleton they found in Ethiopia in the 70s that they named Lucy.
Right, there you go. That'll be that then.
Yeah.
Where did you find her? Marvin looks to Dave, who says she's a travelling performance artist who is trying to get in touch with the carnal primordial side of the female odyssey. Just sort of word salad. Jean-Michel says, yum, yum, yum. I am having a very large happy right now.
Michael Eisner comes back in and he says, I swear to God, guys, new home improvement in 45 minutes. We've just got to hold fast.
I know it seems like time is moving very slowly right now, but we promise.
I swear to God. Please,
don't
change the channel.
It's all kicking off in home improvement any moment.
Someone has died in your town and we'll tell you who at the end of this
We'll tell you who.
They could be related to you. Can you take that risk?
Oh, listener, you probably think we're joking about the someone has died in your town news tease. Anyway, So Jean-Michel says that Lucy embodies it all, passion, turbulence, strength, and he gestures wildly in enthusiasm. And Lucy mimics his movements because I guess she sort of is trying to communicate with him or just trying to copy him. Lucy has basically no personality. She just sort of copies. She just mimics. She just like parrots whatever she sees.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Well, she has a brain the size of a walnut.
Yeah.
I
found the spokesperson for Primal, and she will introduce it at my fall défilé de mode, which means fashion show.
Yeah.
And everyone sort of claps.
Yeah. Ivana, the model, takes Lucy aside and she says, whatever immigrant boat they fished you off of, it won't last.
Oh, nice.
Faces like yours come and go, but mine will always be here. I'll make sure of it. And Lucy, who doesn't understand English, looks perplexed and sinister music plays.
Now, you might think from that interaction that Ivana is setting herself up to be a sort of active villain in this film's plot. you will be disappointed. The note I have here is that obviously we, the viewer, know that Lucy is a cave woman and we know the premise of the film. So this is all good fun. Fine, whatever. But as far as Dave is concerned, she's like an unhoused woman, probably with an untreated mental illness.
Who assaulted him in his home.
Yeah, and has sort of like latched onto him and like curled up and went to sleep in his car. So he has absolutely no inkling yet that she is a cave woman.
No.
So what does he think he's doing? Like, he's awful. Like this, she's someone, right? As far as Dave is concerned, she is someone. Mm-hmm. She might have loved ones who miss her or don't know where she is or something. And he's like, oh yeah, here come the megabucks.
She's my property.
Yeah.
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 Finders keepers. This is my woman now.
Dave.
Like, David, how are you the protagonist?
I know. So we cut to protagonist David's house. Lucy's making a bed of leaves in the fireplace and is living with him now.
Yeah.
Chris is here. She's on roller skates, like an LA person.
The people in Rochester, New York nod sagely. It probably is like that.
Yeah.
Chris says, at least make her bathe. It's not civilized. So we cut to David running a bath. He puts in dish soap. She's doing sort of cave paintings on his mirror in the steam. And then, for no reason, the movie becomes black and white and it starts playing like silent movie piano music.
Yeah, it's like a kind of sped up silent film parody where they push each other hard in the bathroom. He's trying to persuade her to get into the bath, I think is the thrust of it. We see a black and white shot of her furs, like lying on the floor, and a green CGI cloud of stink comes off it. It looks and is awful.
Michael Eisner appears in picture and he just makes calming hand motions.
yeah, like, whoa.
Okay, I swear to God, it's a really good home improvement.
It's a really good home improvement. We put all the energy that we were going to put into this home improvement.
We really tried in the home improvement.
Please stay with us because someone in your town has had a horrible accident.
Another person in your town has died.
Yeah.
And look, I might be saying too much with this, but Grandpa Joe. All right. So
okay,
just.
Right. All right. Okay. I've said too much already. Back to the movie.
Grandpa Joe was exploded by. You'll find out at 11.
You'll find out at 11. Yeah. We'll give you one word of the news headline.
So
it's like the more that, do you know that Simpsons gag where it's like a major soft drink has been discovered to be poisonous? We'll tell you which one at 11 or something. Like,
11. Yeah.
I watched that episode of Simpsons when I was a kid and I was like, funny joke.
Yeah.
And then I watched Encino Woman on YouTube with ads. And now I realise that it's, The Simpsons wasn't making jokes at all. It was simply reporting what's happening.
So you'll remember in Encino Man, the Brendan Fraser movie, there is a scene in which Sean Astin and Pauly Shore give Brendan Fraser a bath. It's the same scene.
Yes.
But it's a lot less sinister because it's three young men, all the same age.
Three hapless men.
Men bathe, and like Brendan Fraser is all sort of like fun and clueless and shown to be enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And they're playing I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
Cool.
And he's sort of like eating soap and blowing bubbles, and it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Whereas this is an established sex creep bathing a woman with the IQ of a child. It's like a lot more sinister.
And then, okay, there's a number of reasons why I hate what happens next. So in the bath, we see Lucy like sort of resisting. She's splashed. And then after the bath, after he's bathed her sort of gently and soapily, then he cuts her hair and brushes her teeth. Now, this is bad because it's creepy. And it's also bad because how far through the film are we at this point? Like half an hour?
Yeah.
Or like half an hour into the broadcast would be truer to say. And she no longer resembles the cave person.
No.
It's really annoying to me that she is already, like, she's got like 2 scenes where she's a cave woman. Like, this should happen much later in the film. This should be like
looks like a regular woman. Well, in Encino Man, right? Like, he's got like big twisty caveman dreads.
Yeah.
And they sort of cut them, but he's still got like short little twisty dreadlocks as his haircut, which gives him a little bit of the sort of caveman flair.
Yeah. But Dave, who you remember like poured dish soap into the bath, he like then sort of clumsily using sort of kitchen scissors gives her this like really sort of like trendy, neat, perfectly feathered and like oiled
bob
hairstyle Yeah, this like kind of like cute little 90s bob.
Also, her teeth are like perfect and white, whereas, she's been like cracking open mammoth bones for the marrow or whatever her entire life.
I guess they were just sort of dirty in a way that could be sort of easily brushed off with a simple toothbrushing.
Yeah.
I don't know how Dave knows this elegant 90s cut, and it really annoyed me. We cut to Lucy in a comfortable dressing gown, staring astonished in the mirror. She's like, whoa, look at me. I'd never believed I could look this conventionally attractive for a 90s audience.
Yeah, I understand what's happened, and also that it's good.
But how about this? Is Jean-Michel going to like what's happened? He was like, wow, look at the incredible, unique look of this woman, because she is like, has matted hair and is wearing these stinking furs and stuff. Like, this is perfect for Primal.
Yeah, she's covered in 2 inches of animal feces, head to toe.
Yeah, next time he sees her, she's just going to look like everyone else does. A sort of woman in the 90s who can't speak English. She's not like, how is she now the face of Primal? I don't understand.
So Dave has torpedoed his own chances of success here, and also cemented his position as a weird sex creep.
Yes.
So good job, movie.
I don't like it. But the music tells us as Lucy looks in the mirror that what's happening is meaningful and good.
It's different in Encino Man because there's 2 of them doing it. So I think the fact that it's one person doing it makes it more intimate and weird.
Yes.
If Sean Astin were gently caressing Brendan Fraser's legs, it would be a different tenor to the scene. But Pauly Shore's there to take the edge off it.
Anyway, like, the vibes are completely off.
Yeah.
We cut to a kindergarten or a nursery of some kind. We see Chris, who we find out is, I guess, a kindergarten teacher.
Yep.
Now, Dave walks into the classroom. Wave goodbye to your Ofsted rating is what I've said of this nursery. Because Dave, who's not a teacher or a parent, enters the classroom and is dragging Lucy, the violent cave woman, by the arm. She's wearing a white frock and has like Marilyn Monroe sort of hair.
She looks like someone you'd see standing around on Hollywood boulevards for a photo op. You give her $5 and you can take a photo with her.
Yeah.
Dressed like Marilyn Monroe.
The aesthetic opposite of a primal beast.
Yeah.
So Chris is like, what the hell are you doing here? You haven't been checked and you're not allowed. He says, please, look, as my best friend ever since the time we made out in the laundry room, brackets, question mark, please give me some time to find out if Lucy is a missing person, etc. So buy me some time. So just sort of have this violent cave woman in your nursery full of toddlers.
Yeah. Dave returns 20 minutes later to an absolute bloodbath.
Lucy's eating Chris's limbs off of her spear like a big kebab.
Yeah.
But no, in fact, we cut to her doing arts and crafts with the children, and she's drawing, you guessed it, a mammoth.
Yeah. At home, David has called up to find out if anyone has reported any missing women. He just calls up and says, hey, have any women been reported missing?
He said verbatim, hi, I'm calling to ask if there have been any reports of any females missing. Well, like, yes, Dave, probably. The bad news is that yes, almost certainly. Yes.
Yeah.
He says she's in her 20s, foreign, possibly mute. Mm-hmm. And then he asks if they've ever heard of someone being raised by wolves. And that kind of ends the phone call.
We see at the school, Lucy is grooming the children in the sense that she's sort of picking lice off their head.
Yes.
And then punching a bunch of kids.
Yeah. You're probably wondering, how are the leads of this movie going to discover that Lucy is actually a cave woman? Well, guess what? In the stupidest way in the world.
Well, luckily, there's an extremely elegant solution to this script problem.
A little girl looks at Chris, the teacher, and says, that lady looks like the cave woman girl. And the camera pans across to a poster that's up in the class charting human evolution. And it features at the end of the timeline an athletic human female. And Chris looks over at Lucy, who is an athletic human female.
Yeah.
And her face says, oh my God.
Yeah, the final form on this chart does look superficially like Lucy in that it's a blonde woman with very few facial features.
So later, Chris has asked a biology teacher or something. I don't know exactly what he is, but his name is Dr. Lambert and he's wheeling a skeleton around with him. She asks what the deal is with this cave woman situation.
Yeah.
Dr. Lambert, could you come in here for a second?
Is there a problem with the DNA model?
No, it's lovely. Dr. Lambert, do you remember the earthquake?
Oh, yes, a 6.3. It was a doozy. Caltech is still
no. Do you remember what they said? They found in the newspapers. Something about something in the glaciers in the Hollywood Hills.
Yes. Priceless artifacts, millions of years old, almost as intriguing as when they found the first walking tribe in Africa a few months ago, the guy in Encino. But these artifacts are from the Mousterian era. Bowls, arrowheads, spears.
Spears? Dr. Lambert, this is a far-out question, but do you think it's possible that a person could be frozen and then come back to life again?
Cryogenically preserved in the glacier? I'd have to say that's impossible.
I don't know why they've had this scene, because this man says it's impossible.
It's so stupid.
It isn't impossible. It's happened, and this is never revisited.
Yeah.
So.
It's also so annoying for the character of Chris, because she's like, I'll consult an expert. And the expert confirms that her pet theory that Lucy is a 30,000-year-old thawed-out cavewoman is, quote, impossible. And then Chris makes a face as if to say, I knew it, Lucy is a 30,000-year-old thawed-out cavewoman.
As if to say, shut up.
As if to say, I think the opposite is true.
I think, good. Talking to an expert has confirmed that the opposite of what he says is true.
Anyway, ad break time. The all-new 1996 Mercury Sable with integrated control panel. Imagine yourself in a Mercury, the ad says.
I've highlighted 2 adverts from this ad break. The first one is the Snapple advert, which is confusing to me because they appear to want to be the number 3 beverage company in America.
Yes, I assume that this is because Coke and Pepsi are so well known as the dominant 1-2 that they're like, Snapple, our vibe will be, we'll settle for 3rd.
Yeah, but don't make that your corporate philosophy. Hey, number 3 is all right with us.
Look, we're never going to taste as good as a refreshing Coca-Cola. Are you crazy? Have you tried that stuff? It's freaking great.
A crisp Pepsi. That's
delicious. If we could be making Pepsi, we would, but we're saddled with Snapple, so we'll do what we can.
When you want a warm, overly sweet juice, Snapple's who you turn to, isn't it, America? The second commercial I've highlighted is the Kellogg's Frosted Wheat commercial, where they try to claim that it's healthy because only half of it is covered in sugar.
The thing that I like about these ads is how cheap everything is, or like how cheap everything feels. I know, like inflation, etc., it probably wasn't, but like there's an advert for Sprint where they're talking about their dime a minute rate even to Canada, and it's like
even to Canada.
There's loads of ads for like Subway and Burger King where they're like, and all of this for $1.05. And you're like, what?
All of this for negative $6. We will give you $6.
Yeah, we'll give you $6
to eat the sandwich.
We think the economy will hold up if we give you money to eat our food.
It's 1996. Things are good.
We're pretty sure it'll be fine. Anyway, home improvement is coming.
9/11 won't happen for 5 years.
Wait, what?
So enjoy the great taste of Subway's new steak sandwich.
What about? No, wait, for how much? $1.05. Okay.
Can't argue with that.
This is delicious and so cheap. What were you saying about some... Oh, I don't know. The moment's passed. Nom, nom, nom.
Good sandwich, though.
Yeah. We do get an ad at the end of this for home improvement, just to let you know home improvement is coming and it's going to be dynamite. Plus, a show called Coach. There's going to be an episode of that. Seems like it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, a big episode of Coach coming up. So back in the movie. Don't worry, it's still going. Chris tells David that Lucy is a cave woman. So having consulted this expert who told her it's impossible, her next move is to go to Chris and say this is definitely what's going on.
Yeah, this is a cave woman.
Yeah, he dismisses her. She shows him the news article on the earthquake cave. Also found at the site were spears and a glacial coffin that could have had a human being in it.
I'm sorry, a what now? A glacial coffin?
A glacial coffin.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you wake it up in the start of Zelda games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But made of ice. Hair was recovered that is currently being carbon tested. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Will we ever hear of that hair being carbon tested again?
No.
Listener, we will not.
Listener, we will not. Chris explains that it's simple. She got caught in an avalanche probably before the ice melted. So her vital organs shut down. And when she came out of the ice, they started up again. Just don't do this. Don't do this in your film. Like, you can just say, like, she must have come out of that glacier, out of the ice age. Don't half-arse it, because it just makes it worse. To be like, her vital organs shut down and then they started up again.
You know what happens when your vital organs shut down? You die.
Brain death.
You die of it.
You die.
That's fatal.
Yeah.
They don't start back up again. Your kidneys and liver don't start back up again.
There's no starting
if they've shut down.
What would make them start back up again? Warmth?
Being warm.
The sun, being exposed to the sun? Anyway, she shows Dave the mammoth drawing that Lucy did, which is proof. She does say it's like that guy they found in Encino a couple of years ago. So there is, to be fair, in the universe of this film, everyone knows that it's possible. In Encino Man, does everyone in the world find out at the end that he's a caveman? I can't remember.
Great question. I don't think so. I think it's just his local area, right?
Right, yeah, okay. It seems like it would be big news if
like
everyone...
a bunch of people. He's at like a school prom or something, and it's revealed that he's a caveman.
Right.
So I guess if there's a few hundred people there, maybe it got out.
Maybe, yeah. Then we cut to voiceover, and here's what likeable protagonist David says. I could work this. I envisioned ruthless exploitation, celeb endorsements. This could make me rich. I would be a player. Girls would love me. Cool. I love hearing Dave's thoughts. We get more. Yeah.
We get some more cave woman bullshit. She's frightened of the phone and attacks it with a spear.
Yeah.
She goes into the freezer and starts eating a frozen burrito. Her and Chris tussle over it. And then she sort of starts teaching her how to speak English. She's like, you're hungry? She mimes hunger by sort of like doing a circular motion over her stomach. And then she teaches her the word hungry. She's like, hungary. And she's like, yes. And then she says yes as well. And she's like, oh my God, you can say hungry and yes. Mm-hmm. And then David walks in and says, no more hormonal female bonding in the kitchen.
Hormonal female bonding. Off, Dave.
Off, David, protagonist of this movie.
He breaks the news to the two women that Marvin has asked to see them in the office pronto. It's worth saying, actually, that this is... So the scene where Chris is teaching Lucy to say a few words, it's like the film is straining to make Chris the protagonist, because this scene is actually quite tender, and it is the first of two extremely, intimate scenes.
Yes.
Between Chris and Lucy.
Chris and Lucy.
Yeah. So
she's fulfilling the Sean Astin role from Encino Man, who is the sort of ostensible protagonist. But also Encino Man is a protagonist because he's played by Brendan Fraser, and he has sort of qualities.
Yes.
And things that he does, unlike Encino Woman. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't.
Who was a sort of blank cipher.
Yeah, they couldn't think of any. Who at this point, with every new word she's taught, she becomes less of a cave person, and it becomes sort of less important that she came out of a glacier or whatever. So we cut to the boardroom. Marvin wants to know what the deal is with Lucy. He's like, so, Lucy, you're his cousin? And Dave kind of prods her to say, is like, yes. And Lucy goes, yes, copying the sounds.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out just before this as well. When the scene ends, David picks Lucy up and carries her out of the room. Oh, yeah. And this starts a sort of trend of people just picking Lucy up and transporting her from scene to scene, like she can't walk.
Yeah, sort of moving her around. She can walk. The gag is that she can walk and run and fight better than anyone, right? She's she's got super strength.
But people just keep sort of picking her up and moving her around. It's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Marvin tells Dave and Roger to get out so that he can talk to Lucy alone. I've written probably he is going to try and have sex with her. Let's see. Listener, won't you believe? It turns out I was right.
Yeah. So Lucy pours sugar all over the table that they're sat at. And Marvin says, did you invent this situation to gain Jean-Michel's attentions?
What? Invent this situation?
Yes, says Lucy, because it's the only word she can say. I knew it, says Marvin. Very clever. And then Lucy gets on the table and starts licking sugar off it. Marvin says, Lucy, I can tell you're foreign. Where are you from? She laps up some more sugar. And then Marvin sits back in his chair, rubs his stomach in a sort of circular motion, and belches loudly.
Yep.
He says, sorry, I had Thai food last night. And then Lucy says, hungry. And he says, you're from Hungary. I see.
Great stuff. I feel like maybe we should ask our editor to add in 45 seconds of pure silence after these. Because you listeners should have to sort of sit with this dialogue in the way that we did.
I've got to think that when this aired, this was the first time anyone at Disney saw this.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
No way, there's no way anyone watched this movie and were like, air it. Wait, Who could have said that?
I
There's
bet when
only
the
one man.
broadcast of this film began, Eisner picked up the phone and started phoning everyone important he knew just so that they weren't watching TV at the time. I bet he was phoning people he knew, other Disney executives, other TV executives, and saying, "Oh, there's been a terrible accident and your wife's in the hospital."
Find out which of your relatives is in hospital at 11.
So don't look at a TV, because I'll certainly be fired or ousted if anyone sees what's happening.
Yeah, company-wide memo. Mickey Mouse has been in a car accident. We don't know what the situation is right now. I'm racing to the hospital and I suggest you all do the same.
We'll tell you which hospital Mickey remains in critical condition in at 11.
We'll tell you what bits of Donald are left at 11.
God.
Marvin says, "Lucy, you are very charming. Do you mind if I join you?" And then he climbs up on the table and they're on all fours licking sugar off the table together. End of scene.
So the sexual threat of Marvin has been established. End of scene. Good. Outside, after this, Marvin gets angry at Dave again. He tells him that tomorrow Lucy has an 11:30 call with Jean-Michel. Try and teach her some English before then. And he leaves. "I don't want him thinking," he says, "that we're saddling Jean-Michel with some uncivilized idiot." And after he's left, David mumbles to himself, "She's not an idiot." Which I think is the...
Nice one, David.
I think is the film sort of trying, at the over halfway point, to try and, like, put a crack in his arsehole armour. And... You know,
show us that David is nice, actually, yeah.
Yes, but it is like, it's not enough. It's not enough because no one's around to hear him say it, and all he does is go, "She's not an idiot." It's like the mildest thing you could do.
Whispers it into his sleeve, yeah.
Yeah.
What happens next is strange. We cut to a school for immigrants. A teacher is singing America the Beautiful in a sort of weird way. It's an English school for immigrants because everyone here is dressed in some kind of national dress. It's like they're the It's a Small World version of each country.
Yeah, all the nations of the world are assembled here in this classroom. He tells them about America, and I think he's supposed to be sort of teaching them English, but instead of doing that, he shouts about how it's down to you, start a revolution.
Be free, he says, and then he sort of throws candy out into the classroom. Retain your culture, love yourself, he says. Revolution, be free. Everyone starts chanting, "Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself." And the teacher at the front of the class goes, "America!"
Lucy roars in appreciation.
Baffling.
What
is this?
I don't know. Lucy understands none of it, of course, but she's learned some new sounds. Get down, retain your culture, love yourself, candy, and revolution. So she'll be sort of randomly spouting them like a parrot in a way that sort of alters the world around her.
It's like, you know, that game Curse of the Golden Idol.
Oh,
She's like added a bunch of new verbs to her clickable list.
Yes.
So, those will be useful later.
Andy, when you travel to the present day from a glacier, when you get thawed out, there's a lot of things that are unfamiliar, aren't there? There's a lot of frightening new challenges to face.
Frightening new challenges, traffic, the English language.
And probably one of the most challenging of all is roaming rates.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you going to explain to a cave person that when they travel to another country, they have to pay an extortionate fee just to use their phone?
Just to use their caveman cell phone, which Flintstones style is a literal clamshell.
And they'll look at you and go,
"Seems unfair. To a cave person, surely better
needs to check their apps. You tell cave person can't update cave person's Facebook."
I say, listen, cave person, you can, because we in the modern world have invented Saily.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a new eSIM service app brought to you by the creators of NordVPN.
That's right. It gets affordable prices for your roaming data, significantly reducing and even eliminating roaming fees with affordable eSIM plans in over 200 countries.
You can save time with Saily. There's no need to wait in line at the airport to get a local SIM card or anything like that. It's all done digitally. It's super easy and convenient. It helps you avoid scams, and you only need to download and install it once. Protect your privacy. Save mobile data. 24/7 support. the benefits are literally endless.
That's right. So go to saily.com, that's SAILY.com /Mom Can't Cook to get an exclusive 15% discount on your first Saily data plans. Use code Mom Can't Cook at checkout, download the Saily app, or go to saily.com /Mom Can't Cook.
Does this appease you, cave person? Are you calm now? I'm looking at them. Are they calm, Andy?
They've smashed open their mobile phone and they're sort of eating the insides. They're sort of glittering like pearls. The innards of this phone, and the caveman is sort of eating them and smiling and rubbing his tummy.
Okay, well,
so I guess in a way that's a good outcome.
Yeah. I call it good. I call it good. Get all the rare earth minerals out of that phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them back into the earth. So we cut to Ivana. She's wearing a bubble wrap dress and she's on the phone dobbing Lucy into immigration services. She tells immigration that Lucy isn't paying any taxes. She's living off the system and doesn't have a green card. Ivana doesn't know any of this, so she's just sort of like making...
No, she says that Lucy's from Hungary, which, again, there's no way that she could know this.
No, because she's not involved in the shoot anymore. The two charmed government officials ask if they know an address where the illegal is residing.
And then Ivana says, sure, here's David's home address that I know somehow.
We cut to David at home. He's on the sofa canoodling with Lucy a bit too close. They're eating spaghetti out of a big pan.
She has an arm around him and her legs are draped over his lap. She's sort of sniffing him. And then he says... Go
on, Andy. Go on. Do your best.
She sniffs him and he says, I mean it. No. And then Lucy goes, no. And I've written, I'm glad someone taught her that one.
Yeah.
She goes to bite his finger. He says no. And then he starts biting her all over and nibbling her neck.
Yeah.
The assembled families eye each other in a sort of panicky way as they realise the film is still going and Home Improvement seems further off than ever.
Yeah, they start sort of snarling at each other in a sort of playful way, like two dogs making love. It's as unpleasant as it sounds, and they end up in that position that people get in movies where they're just before a kiss. But before lips can touch, he pulls away.
No. This is not... no. We can't. I can't. You're a million years old and, this would just complicate things. This is business. We're in business together. And, I mean, things have just been totally insane. I need some clarity, so I'm just going to go take a shower, a really cold shower, and you just stay there.
Wow, that David is a real prince.
Yes, he is.
He refused to make love with the cavewoman because they're in a business partnership.
Later, we see a woman's feet go up on a coffee table. We, the audience, presume that they are Lucy's feet, I suppose.
Yep. There's a knock at the door. The camera follows the feet to the door. It's the Department of Homeland Security. Does Lucy live here? They say, says the woman. They kidnap the leg owner and bundle her into a car. David sees this and chases, but it's too late. She's been driven away. Lucy, he calls, and we cut to an ad break.
Yep. Can I quick fire these for you?
Sure, go for it.
All right, McDonald's have got a Happy Meal thing where you get a little Disney VHS tape, you get a little plastic toy in it, $1.99. Dodge Intrepid, it's been described as poised and athletic by Car and Driver. Thanks to Benadryl, a mother is able to watch her daughter play soccer. Lysol toilet bowl cleaner continues to be good. 40% off of selected Goodyear tyres, brackets, there are a lot of ads for tyres. ABC Tuesday, it's going to be a wild one. Home Improvement, followed by Dana Carvey. Then, new at 11 from News Source 13. We interrupt this broadcast of Disney's funny cavewoman film with the following news. A 12-year-old boy has been hit by a train downtown. Some of the boy's toes were severed. Doctors have performed surgery. Then, and I'm quoting directly, also 2 people are shot on the city's west side, and on a lighter note, a canine crime fighter. My note, Jesus Christ. Is this what it was? Is this what TV was for real?
Why didn't the canine crime fighter stop the shooting?
Yeah, and on a lighter note, a canine crime fighter. And on a darker note, the canine crime fighter has been arrested for failing to stop any of these things.
One of the shots was the canine crime fighter. Yeah, his toes cut off.
So from this point on, I guess, I don't know, from this point on, every time there's an ad break, as if this film didn't have enough of an uphill struggle. As if Eisner wasn't like up against it enough trying to get this bad movie to go over well with audiences. Every time it cuts to ad break, it's going to remind you that a boy has had his toes run over by a train. And that someone was shot and killed in town.
Yeah.
And they just let you know this, but they say, we'll update you on the boy's condition at 11, and we'll let you know exactly what happened with the fatal shooting at 11 as well. And we'll tell you about this dog that fights crime, but not that effectively.
And because of the structure of these ad breaks, it's ads first and then this, and then it rolls straight into the movie. So it's like, the boy's toes were severed. He remains in critical condition. The cavewoman antics. And you're like, wow, I'm still processing the toeless boy.
It's just non-stop tonal whiplash. Maybe this is like a particularly unlucky broad. Maybe typically if you were watching, I don't know, maybe you went like the first time that Life Size went out, or Toothless, or something. Maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe all the news and the ads were a little lighter. But I have to think probably not. Anyway, despite having done this podcast for years, I feel like this is like the closest we've come to looking into the Sauron-like gaze of what it was actually like to consume this media.
To consume with the ad breaks and everything in between.
And again, I don't like what I see.
No, you would think that the ad breaks would skew more towards children, right? Because you're watching ABC, but it is a Disney movie.
Yes,
I don't know. No, I guess I don't really know who this is for.
But all the ads are for like funny sitcoms that are for the whole family, and there are ads in this broadcast for other like television movies. There's one late coming up where it's like, hey, why don't you watch this movie? It's about two kids who have to rescue a lion. And it's, so like, it is clearly everything that's happening now. They know that it is being watched by families anyway. I don't know where to go with this, except that I found the whole experience to be sort of generally upsetting.
It's the closest you can get to like cultural time travel.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, but also kind of upsetting.
What do they say? The past is another country.
It's a different country. Yeah.
They do things differently there. Anyway.
So we see the DHS agents interrogating.
No, Andy, we're not done. After the canine crime fighter, next, Hoselton used cars, Wendy's taco salad, and Ramore and Flanagan announced the world's finest furniture sale. The advert implies that all the nations of the world have converged to put together this furniture sale.
Yeah.
And that's
They're selling the sofas that you would see if you were like looking around houses, and you would see this sofa and you'd go, God, that's dated. I need to throw that out.
Yeah, is all of those sofas.
Yeah, all of those sofas.
Yeah. Anyway, stop thinking about the little boy whose toes got sliced off by a train. We're back to Encino Woman.
It's such a relatable injury for a watching child. It's not like child died. It's oh God, it's like, every time, well, I assume this is a universal experience, but every time you go ice skating, you think about someone who fell over and an ice skate went over their hand and cut off all their fingers.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. This is exactly the kind of injury that a child can really relate to and sort of fix in their mind as a thing that could happen to them at some point.
It's a thing that you would worry about forever. If you watched this when you were 9, it would be like, right, that's it, core memory. Now I'll never be able to look at a train without thinking of it slicing off my toes.
Slicing off my toes.
It's like the news has made this up. Like as like a sort of moral lesson for children. It's like, oh, and here's the news. A boy didn't listen and he got his toes sliced off by a train.
It's like Straw Peter. It's like, come and cut your thumbs off with a big pair of scissors if you don't stop telling lies.
Do you think maybe if you tune into the news at 11, it says, right, okay, here's the real news. Obviously that kid toe thing wasn't real. We just said that to...
Yeah, the kids are in bed now. It's 11, so we can give you the real news.
The real news, yeah. Anyway, this dog stops crime. That one was real.
Yeah, what really happened is the dog was shot and had its toes cut off.
The dog's toes were sliced off. Oh my God. Okay, so, right, we cut to an interrogation by immigration services. Do you think that sounds like a fun premise for a big bit of the film?
Certainly does.
No, neither.
Oh, okay. They're interrogating Chris, it turns out, who is wrapped in cling film, has a blue face mask on, and her hair is all twizzled up in foil. I'm a US citizen, says Chris. I've never been to Hungary. So it seems that when asked if Lucy lived at their house, Chris went, like a cavewoman, and then got kidnapped.
And got kidnapped, yeah. And now we find out why we only saw the feet of the person who got kidnapped by immigration.
Yeah.
So that we could do this fun... so that we could do this fun reveal. Why are you dressed in this exotic fashion, the agents ask. Low self-esteem, says Chris, because, of course, she lives in LA and so hates herself. Mm-hmm. They tell her that she'll have to stay here until she's been processed. She pleads to make a phone call, and the agents exchange a fun look as if to say suspected illegal immigrants are not allowed phone calls.
Yeah, what I've written is the DHS agents exchange knowing looks as if to say, you're not getting out of here for a long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we cut to home, and Chris is sat on Lucy's lap, crying to David about how she nearly got deported to Hungary.
Yeah. She says it's only a matter of time until they come back for Lucy. Dave says he'll be careful. I don't know exactly what this means. I guess he'll be careful opening the door from now on. Lucy's chewing on tinfoil because she has the mind of a child. Dave says that Lucy's got a big photo shoot tomorrow and it's going to be lots of fun. She'll have makeup, loads of attention. It's going to be great. And then he carries her away in his arms over the threshold style again.
He picks her up and carries her out of earshot of anyone who could offer a dissenting opinion.
We cut to the shoot. We see that Lucy has been made up. Her hair looks like super noodles. She doesn't look like a cave person in the slightest anymore. She's chowing down on craft services. Jean-Michel rocks up and goes, "There is my star," and kisses her on the cheek. Lucy visibly recoils.
This is all in point of view. Like, it's like the scene in RoboCop where they're sort of putting RoboCop together and all the OCP scientists are like drilling on his faceplate and stuff.
Yeah,
only here
like
it's a woman having makeup applied.
The director steps in eventually. "I'm feeling the muse," he says. "Okay, Lucy, darling, let's see the primal in you." But Lucy just stands there thinking about mammoths or something.
Yeah. So they all shout at her, "Lucy, you've got to do something, Lucy." They improvise for quite a long time. And they're all like, "Lucy, you got to do something. Move around, Lucy. Do something."
No one thinks to put music on, which was what happened before.
Yeah. So Lucy just looks pained. Marvin goes and bollocks David. He says, "Look, get her to do something or you're fired and you'll have to live in your car and lick grease off used burger wrappers." So David goes across to Lucy and he says, "What's wrong? What do you want? If you do this, I'll get you ice cream." Because remember, she has the mind of a child.
Yeah.
She pushes him and then he says, "You can eat my cat if you do this photo shoot. Does it even matter to you that you're humiliating me?"
My God, David.
And then she shoves him into the crowd of people. Everyone falls over. She kicks off her shoes and climbs the Primal bottle while a rip-off of Breed by Nirvana plays.
Oh my God, it is the most rip-off you ever heard. It is the cheekiest sound-alike ever.
Yeah, it's like changing one note of Breed by Nirvana and hoping that Kurt Cobain is too dead by 2 years to do anything about it.
Yeah, hopefully the rest of Nirvana is still grieving. It's our only hope.
She says. She's upside down on the bottle. She's roaring. She's swinging. She's biting the set. She says. Jean-Michel is loving it. The bottle of Primal sort of looks like a big black figure eight, and she's like swinging off it.
Yeah.
I've written that she's bellowing like a cow giving birth.
Yeah, it's weirdly low. She's lowing. It's not it's not like like a normal person would scream if they're angry. It's like
yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
Like a cow in distress.
We see the director is on the floor from where he was sent flying by Dave being shoved, and we freeze frame on the photos he's getting so we see them. They're like very blurry, bad images of a woman's angry face. They're like, you almost can't tell there's a person in them.
Yeah.
But he seems to like them. All tuckered out, Lucy stamps past everyone and into the green room where she pulls off her wig and holds her head in her hands. And she looks in the mirror as if to say, "What have I become?"
Yeah, she head in her hand. She looks in the mirror. Sure, she's a fashion model, but at what cost? She says. She touches her reflection.
Yeah. What?
How she longs to be back in prehistory.
Maybe that's what she's thinking. Or maybe she's just thinking, as usual, about the never-ending struggle to survive in which Paleolithic individuals were trapped.
Yeah.
Dave comes in and she picks up a chair and hurls it through the mirror. And Dave, picks her up and the music's all emotional.
Picks her up and carries her
away again.
Anyone who could offer a dissenting opinion to what he's doing.
Sort of picks her up and moves her away like if you were sort of redecorating a house in Animal Crossing, he just sort of like picks up this bit of furniture and is just like, I'll take it away and put it in my house again.
We cut to him carrying her back into his house like a sort of tired toddler who's fallen asleep in the car.
Yeah.
Chris comes in and says, "Oh my God, what happened? What did you do to her?" And David then goes on a self-pitying rant about how everything in his life is bad. And then he notices suddenly that Chris is eating a roast beef sandwich. And he's like, wait a minute, you don't eat meat. And then she says, Lucy does. And then he's like, and how come you don't have a bunch of weird stuff on your face? And she says, Lucy isn't addicted to products and her skin is beautiful. And is that your real hair colour?
Unfortunately, this is the film's central thesis.
Yeah, that these modern idiot women are doing all this stuff when they should simply live like cave people do.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of desperate struggle for survival where you don't have time to perm your hair.
Stinking of rancid meat, presumably. Yeah. Anyway, let's hear the film's thesis.
Lucy isn't addicted to products, and her skin is beautiful.
Well, she's been frozen on ice. And Hey, is that your real hair color?
Yeah. See, I've been thinking about it. Lucy's prehistoric, right? And well, what does that really mean? I mean, if you take it literally, prehistory, pre-politics, pre-atomic bomb, pre-magazines, pre-newspapers, pre-Madison Avenue. We're so mired in our history, we've forgotten how to just be. There are rules for everything. Walking and talking and eating and dressing. And if you don't conform, then you're an outcast. So we starve ourselves, we bend our bodies because of these rules based on our history. But she doesn't know any of that, She's just who she is. So I've been thinking about it.
Wow, a lot of thinking.
Yeah, you should try it sometime. Hey, David.
What?
I got these from the school library. They're beginning anthropology books. I think you should show them to Lucy. I think she needs to understand where she came from.
Right now, I need to get into bed and just dream that none of this ever happened. And Chris,
Mm-hmm.
You do look pretty without that gunk all over your face.
So Dave wakes up the next morning to a phone call telling him that everything actually went well at the shoot. We're a star, he says. And we cut to another ad break. Little Caesar's stuffed crust pizza, $8.99. Excedrin, it relieves headaches better than Tylenol.
So I have three highlights from this ad break. The Excedrin commercial, where a man says that he ignores medical research because he doesn't trust it.
Yes. Yes. He says, I'm not convinced by charts and graphs. Are you? And he sort of says, are you, as if to say, are you convinced by charts and graphs, you viewer? If so, you're an idiot. Yeah. He says, I'm convinced because my headaches go away when I take Excedrin. Yeah. So there you go.
There's an anti-drinking ad from the National Council on Alcoholism and Drug Dependence. Probably the right audience for that. Families watching ABC. And then a trailer for an episode of Grace Under Fire where it appears that Grace is having a relationship with an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah, Grace has a secret admirer in Grace Under Fire. And we see an 8-year-old boy saying, Grace, I'm in love with you or something. I don't know. We come back on VO over negatives from the Primal shoot. We're told by David in VO that Jean-Michel decided to centre his whole campaign around Lucy, which we already knew. Whatever. We montage loads and loads of photos. We're kind of skipping ahead in time. We find out that Lucy's success has changed Dave's life. Now he's a big shot, and we see him in the ad office. He's now got a turquoise suit, and he's an arsehole.
Yeah, he can now abuse people much more efficiently.
Yeah, and loudly and publicly.
Yeah. And they sort of have to put up with his sexual harassment now because he's a big guy on campus.
Yeah. He's basically just telling everyone, like, do this, do that, get Lucy on the cover of every magazine, continue to make her famous and by extension me famous. He demands to be fanned and shouts at everyone. We cut to some kind of
party,
some kind of exclusive club for LA types.
Uh-huh.
It's in some kind of boudoir, like a Moulin Rouge bedroom. I don't know.
Yeah. The person on the door freaks out at Lucy. They're very excited that Lucy is here. The INS agents are here. They say, we're here to question one of your guests. And the door person says, no, I'm sorry, you're not on the guest list. Hit the road, losers. Inside, David is just sort of staring at Lucy instead of enjoying the party. You can't have her, says one of Lucy's entourage. You're a bummer to her now. I'm her Svengali, says David likably.
Yeah.
And then in comes a well-observed black character who says, Lucy's a dime. That's the 411. You're tripping and bugging. Lucy is crazy bodacious G, is his conclusion.
This is a recurring bit where this character will show up and use a lot of slang. And all of the white characters around will sort of exchange looks as if to say, well, I simply don't understand what that means.
Yeah, it's funny how they talk, isn't it?
It's basically unbearable.
It's basically unacceptable and unbearable.
Basically unacceptable and unbearable. This party scene is insanely stupid, and it ends like this. Lucy sees a big table covered in delicious food, and she goes over to it and starts eating it because she likes it. And she's like eating, and everyone's like, Lucy, what are you doing? And she goes, candy, revolution, because she only knows 4 words, and she's like parroting just those words over and over again.
This party has a big candy table for some reason. Yeah.
And then, an LA culture having been effortlessly skewered, they all go like, oh, Lucy, who is the new coolest thing in town, is eating sugary food and saying revolution. We should do that. And we sort of cut to everyone writhing and pushing baked treats inside each other. It's a sort of like candy orgy.
It's become
of some
a big
kind.
candy party.
Yeah.
Which it must already have been that because there's a big table of candy there.
Yeah, why would you put this big table of candy out for a party full of people who, like, only eat Ozempic or whatever? I don't know.
A big handful of Ozempic, yeah.
A big cube of Ozempic.
It's like there is a big candy table at this party, and then she eats some of the candy that's at the party, and everyone's like, wow, revolution. Well, why was the candy there in the first place?
I don't know. But Dave
I hate this movie. I hate this movie.
Dave sits on the sofa, sadly, watching. He won't join the sugar orgy. He feels like he's losing ownership of Lucy because she belongs to the fashion scene now and she doesn't seem to need him anymore. Lucy hasn't vocalised any of this because she can't really talk, but she also hasn't sort of done any acting or been given any space to do any acting to suggest that she has an opinion on anything. She's just blank.
No one's really interacted with her at all.
No, everyone just talks at Lucy.
She sort of stood in a scene while people interact around her.
Yeah.
And then occasionally she'll do something and they'll observe her and then they'll go back to just interacting with each other and then someone will pick Lucy up and carry her out of the scene.
I genuinely don't know if in the universe of the film Lucy is, like, smart, like, has ideas and opinions. I don't know. I don't know if Lucy thinks that everyone should be eating candy. I don't know if Lucy believes that it's silly that everyone in LA doesn't eat candy, or is she just obeying a sort of lizard brain instinct to consume fats because the winter's coming on and there might not be enough firewood in the cave? Like,
yeah.
I can't tell because I don't know, because the film doesn't give you enough Lucy screen time to really understand the character.
Yeah.
It's very, very bad, this. Anyway, back at home.
I mean, she's a Neanderthal, right?
Yes.
That's the specific kind of caveman that she is.
I looked up if they could talk, and they could, apparently. Like, the thinking is that they had language.
Yeah.
Just obviously not
I mean,
English.
they didn't have a brain the same size as a modern human, did they?
Well, I think they were sort of smart enough. I don't know. Like, I think it's pretty close. I think mostly what Neanderthals were missing was, like, you know, large society and education and stuff. Like, I don't know. But then, like, Lucy is quite sort of grown up. Look, the problem is that I don't know what it would be like if you took a Neanderthal and transported them into modern life. But I should have an idea of what that is, because that's what this film is supposed to be. And this film is failing to present even, like, a hypothetical of what it would be like, you know?
Why doesn't she do any cavewoman stuff?
I don't know. There's not going to be any more cavewoman stuff. It's finished now.
It's just this excoriating takedown of the LA fashion industry.
Yeah.
Anyway, Peter's crashing out. Next day, he's lost his shoe. Chris is like, I hate you now because of what you've become. And he's like, I don't care. I'm a big shot. We cut to a pool party and people are like, hey, you're Lucy Stalker, haha. And he's like, no, I found her and she lives with me.
Yeah.
Lucy comes up to him and she says, be free. And he says, be free yourself, drink your milk, and then I'm picking you up and carrying you out of this party.
After this, we're leaving. Jean-Michel is like, she doesn't have to leave if she doesn't want to. Jean-Michel asks Lucy if she wants to leave. No, says Lucy, but we don't know if she means no or if she's just saying the sound.
Yeah. Peter crashes out again and explains that Lucy is his property and he's had enough of this having agency thing.
Yeah. He shouts at her and at Jean-Michel and at everyone and crashes out massively.
I know about your types, okay? It gets late, you invite her in for a nightcap of milk, and all of a sudden she becomes your paramour, your love toy.
And what exactly is she to you?
She's my date. And frankly, I've had it. Lucy was standing here all alone at these strange parties holding your milk while you cavort and use words you don't understand and pretend we don't know what you are, even though we do know what you are.
And what, pray tell, is she?
You want to know what she is? I'll tell you what she is, okay? I'll tell you what she is, Mr. Hip designer, pretentious, pseudo, shallow, untalented piranha, okay? She's a cave woman.
Well, of course she's a cave woman. She's Lady Godiva. She's Cleopatra.
So that splash you heard was Dave falling in the swimming pool completely unforced. He stood about 2 steps from the edge and then he just sort of like tips in for no reason.
Michael Eisner comes back picture in picture.
Yeah.
Hold fast, folks. Hold fast. It's a really good home improvement.
Likeable protagonist Dave, whose personality to begin with was a sort of like sorry for himself, sex pest. Now he's added to that sort of like a paranoid and suspicious nature where he believes that he's surrounded on all sides by jackals who wish to take what's his, brackets Lucy.
And brackets what's his is a human woman.
Yeah. So Dave leaves the party humiliated. Lucy gets back home much later, and when she gets in, she tosses aside her high heels. Dave lies in wait, and what he's done is, on the floor, he's like laid out all of these books that have cave people in them.
Yeah, they're like anthropology books he got from Chris.
Yeah. He's going to confront Lucy. He says, I want you to look at this and tell me if anything looks familiar. And it does, doesn't it, Andy?
Yeah, he says, this is all gone. And she's like, home? And he says, yeah, it's gone. It's all gone for millions of years.
She starts
like,
crying. She starts crying because he's shouting at her that her home is gone.
And then he starts sort of like going on this self-pitying rant again. He's like, this is your life now. You can't go home. I can't get near you, Lucy. I don't want to be your milk guy at parties. It's totally out of control.
It used to be us. It used to be just us. And then he starts stammering and collapsing and apologising and saying he's an idiot. And he starts grabbing her face and saying, I just want you to know that you're important to me. Luckily, Lucy's next act is to hit Dave in the face as hard as she can and run away.
And run away, yeah. And then Dave comes in VO and says, she was right for belting me. I couldn't argue with that. I abused her. Cut to ads.
What do we got? Subway's $1.99 steak and cheese, the Ford Contour, Hidden Valley salad dressing, Arizona jeanswear, it's more about attitude than latitude, only at JCPenney, Kotex Personals disposable underwear for when your pad or tampon isn't cutting it at night, Sunday on ABC Sports, a World TV premiere event next week, Born Free, with about kids who have to follow a lion, the Dana Carvey Show, News Source 13, quote, it was supposed to be a day of fun, it didn't turn out that way, a 12-year-old boy had some of his toes severed by a train near the Interloop, and then at the end of that, a free 10-year parts and labour warranty on an air conditioner. Wait, hang on, no, this is just the sponsor for the news. This is a sort of nested ad within an ad. Rooster Telephone, free rental of a call ID unit. Imagine driving carefree for 6 months. It's possible at Patrick's. If we sell it, we back it. And then we're back to the film.
Yeah. So that scene that we saw, there's a sort of parallel scene in Encino Man, but Brendan Fraser and Sean Astin and Paulie Shaw, they go on a school field trip to a museum, and they're sort of touring the sort of prehistory part of a museum. Yeah. And Brendan Fraser, he sort of sees models of cavemen, and there's a bit where he gets sort of like scared by skeletons of predators that he would recognise from his time. And it's sort of the same idea, but just done 1 million times better.
Yeah. Whereas here, what they've done is they've put books on the floor.
Books on the floor, and then Peter yells at this woman for not only hanging out with him.
Sort of shakes her by the shoulders and touches her face and cries. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's awful.
Back in the movie, Peter looks out of a window.
Eisner's shame.
First, I was mad at her when she didn't come back, he says. Then I started missing her, and I couldn't stop thinking about how I messed up.
We montage a little bit. We see that Dave has lost his job for calling Jean-Michel an untalented piranha at the pool party. We see that Lucy has moved in with Fiona and all those other posers, brackets question mark, who the f*** is Fiona?
Yeah. She took his cat with her. The cat that she wanted to eat, didn't eat it. They're watching a caveman show. She's loving it. It took a cave woman to teach me I didn't know the first thing about relationships, says David. I couldn't keep a girl or a job. I'm a loser.
We cut to the LA mansion where Lucy is squatting. She's looking at a photo of her and Dave and is sad. Fiona, who's I guess just now a thing in the film, tells her to forget him and that she should meet his psychic because guess what? Fiona is an LA person, so she has a psychic.
That's right. The residents of Rochester, New York nod.
Yeah, they probably love psychics, don't they? Yeah. She rambles for a while about dates and how terrible guys are. Lucy, while this is happening, does a headstand and says, "Love yourself," and then sprints up the stairs.
Yeah. Okay, says Fiona. End of scene. Back at Peter's house, Peter is sat in his pants.
People will think we're exaggerating, but we're not. You can go watch it. It's on YouTube. We're telling you everything that happens in the order in which it happens.
Peter is in his pants, sadly regarding a picture of him and Lucy. The doorbell goes, oh no, it's the immigration agents. They want to search Peter's house. They start searching it. It becomes apparent that Peter lives in some sort of deconsecrated church for some reason. On TV, Lucy is being interviewed on a talk show saying that the whole diet industry is a conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't say that. The hosts say, "So, Lucy, you think the whole diet industry is a conspiracy?" And then there's a long pause, and Lucy goes, "Conspiracy, yes." Clearly not understanding the meaning behind the sounds she's making.
Yeah. And then one of the hosts says, "Women are being taken in because," and then Lucy goes, "Hungry."
Yes.
So true. Hungry for self-love and acceptance, says a presenter. And then goes on about how we need to be free. Yes, be free, says Lucy, and everybody claps.
Wild applause. "These unforgiving social rules about body size and the shame of our own hungers, we need to be free," says the host. So this is sort of Lucy's cave woman philosophy, but by cave woman philosophy we mean repeating random words that she's learned, and everyone's kind of reading into it.
We learn on the news that in Encino, groups of women are embracing the philosophy of Lucy, the new Primal girl, and are smashing their scales with sledgehammers.
The news reporter says that Lucy will be unveiling Jean-Michel's debut perfume Primal at his fall défilé de mode at the end of the week. My note, debut perfume? So I thought he was like a famous... But he's not done it before.
No.
I thought he was a famous...
I don't know. I don't know.
How is the script own-goaling so hard?
I don't know.
Okay.
We cut to Ivana. She calls INS and tells them to go to Defile de Mode on Braxton Street at 7 p.m. because Lucy will be there and they can arrest her and deport her to Hungary.
This is not exactly a hot tip to be phoning immigration with. It was just on the news. It's like, hey, here's a tip if you want to arrest, like... I don't know. If you
she was just on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
And they were talking about where she's going to be on Friday.
But so, the INS is just waiting for people to phone in and say what they've seen on the news.
Say when they've seen an immigrant, yeah.
Yeah, Fiona's taken Lucy to see her yogi.
Yeah, he's a turbaned nude man in a bathtub, played by Bobcat Goldthwait. He reads her aura and says that she's very old and has lost her home and lost her place. And then he goes, you can't go back. You must live in this life and in this time. Heed my words. You must make peace with your new home.
New home, says Lucy, simply making sounds.
Like a parrot or monkey.
Yeah, we cut to... some sort of event. I don't know.
we cut to the grease level from Overwatch.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly That's exactly what it is. I think it's some kind of shoot. Chris is here. She runs up to Lucy and they embrace in an extremely close and sensual way. Yeah. They're running their hands through each other's hair. Chris says, "You, Lucy, in my heart," and sort of gesturing to her heart. They're like touching each other and crying. She tells Lucy that Dave is a mess. "Why are people in love so difficult?" she asks, and then they nuzzle closely.
Yeah.
There's that.
What's going on?
It's an extremely intimate and romantically shot scene, but obviously it's not supposed to be in the plot. I do think it's kind of nice that there are actually two women looking after Lucy while Dave does literally nothing in his house for weeks. Like, we've got Fiona, who's just sort of been parachuted in, and we've got Chris, and they're basically like Lucy is thriving. She's like, they're just sort of like looking after her and taking care of her, and we occasionally cut back to Dave in his underpants, sort of like in a kind
crashing out about how this woman won't obey him.
Yeah, in a kind of stinking pit in which he lives now. Anyway, we cut to, so Chris has checked in with Lucy, and we cut to Dave's house. Chris storms in, pulls open the curtains, tells him that he's as sordid and filthy and disgusting, and she tips him bodily off the sofa.
Why are you being so mean to me? I'm a broken man.
You know what, David? I teach 4-year-olds who have more insight into life than you have. You blew it. You had her, you used her, you didn't acknowledge your feelings for her, and at this point, I'm giving you credit even thinking you have feelings.
What do you mean my feelings for her?
Hello? Could you be a guy more? You love her, David. You're in love with Lucy, and now you're gonna have to get her back.
Can't get her back. She doesn't want me. She's got her new friends, new fame, new life. She doesn't want me.
How are you ever gonna know? How are you ever going to know what your life will be like if you don't live it?
Tried to live it, didn't work out.
Wrong. You live around it. And that's the easy way to live your life. Above it, on the side of it, at an angle somewhere. But you never crawl in it and get dirty. And that's where the life is. On the inside. With all the love and the pain and the joy and the sorrow. It's all inside.
What are you, my therapist?
So during this bollocking, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Chris starts tidying Dave's house.
Yeah, of course. Because he's too depressed because a woman won't obey him. He can't do it himself.
How many women must prop up this awful man? Just brick up his house. Just seal him in.
Just walk away.
Chris says, it's your choice, Dave, but I hope you do right by yourself and by Lucy. And she leaves, and Dave sits there and makes no expression for ages.
Yeah. Chris was right, he says in VO. Up to me to stop feeling for myself and get Lucy back. I wonder if she'd take me back. And then ad break highlights the Dodge Intrepid has a lower windshield than other cars.
Yeah, we didn't put it in the usual place, they say.
You won't believe where we've put the windshield.
Buy the car and we'll tell you.
We'll tell you where the windshield is. We'll give you the coordinates to go and find it. It's in a cornfield in Nebraska.
Coca-Cola, Century 21, Downy fabric softener has a new kind of ball. Burger King, the Western Whopper, it's the Whopper gone wild. And babies are busting out all over on Coach and other ABC programming.
Great stuff.
And we're back to the film.
We cut to Jean-Michel's big show. Peter says, if I was going to get Lucy back, it would have to be on her terms where everyone could see. I don't know how he's come to this conclusion.
No.
But fine, that's what we're doing now. The runway is all set up. There's a big saber-toothed tiger mouth as part of the set. There is an extremely cheeky sound-alike of Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood playing.
Oh, yeah. It's outrageous.
Perfume wouldn't be the only thing debuting, says David, ominously.
Everyone in the queue is waiting. We check in with the whole cast. Ivana complains she's annoyed that she has to wait to get in. Roger is here and meets Chris in the queue and asks if she wants to get a cup of coffee afterwards. So they're sort of paired off Marge Simpson style. Mm-hmm. And we see that immigration services are here waiting in the queue like everyone else for some reason.
Yep, getting annoyed at having to queue to get in.
Dave sneaks in wearing like a big Marge Simpson wig. Oh, 2 Marge Simpson references in as many minutes. How about that? Yeah. We cut to the green room where Lucy's having her hair done. She goes, no. And the bloke who's doing her hair loses his temper and shoves a wig on her and says he doesn't care if she falls and breaks her neck.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy's wheeled out on a pallet of some kind to be shown to Jean-Michel.
Again, she can walk. I don't know why people keep transporting her from scene to scene like a prop, like a crate full of crockery or something.
Yeah.
The show starts, models start to walk the catwalk. Backstage, David is looking for Lucy. He grabs a leopard print coat off a rack. And then we see that David is now dressed in the leopard print like a caveman. Don't worry, Lucy, he says, I'll save you.
The only good thing I could say about this film is that it really commits visually to its version of like LA vapidness. It doesn't really look like it looks like a Dr. Seuss adaptation. This final scene. It's like Ruby Rod from The Fifth Element, but from Wish.com. That's what everyone looks like.
It really looks like RuPaul's Drag Race kind of C-tier runway kind of thing. And like, let's all untuck in the Interior Illusions Lounge. It's like that's the vibe here.
Yeah.
It's very drag adjacent.
Yes.
This movie for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know. So Lucy's looking really bored and fussed over. We see Dave emerge from some sort of changing tent. It looks like the kind of tent you'd put on a Victorian beach. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a caveman now.
He's in furs.
He's in furs. Yeah. He overhears Roger and Marvin talking. Marvin has put together a predatory contract for Lucy that will let them have total ownership over her services. And he says, and when the market burns out on her, we just toss her away. Roger, who's becoming good for some reason, says that's inhumane. Marvin tells him to get over it and bumbles off because he spotted a woman he wants to go and chat up.
And harass, Roger is psted at by David and he goes over and he says, I need a hand, or more accurately, a shoulder. The fashion show continues. All the outfits are like sexy Halloween costumes, sexy cat, sexy lizard, etc. Lucy won't take the perfume from Jean-Michel. She's gone catatonic. She's just sort of like staring blankly and not sort of reacting to anything.
Yeah. Jean-Michel is livid. He threatens Marvin and Marvin tries to strangle him and they keep trying to strangle each other for a while.
Yeah, fix this, he says to the head of the advertising agency. And this was the first point where I'm like, I'm not really sure this is how model management works.
Yeah, probably not.
You know, advertising agencies and model management agencies are different things. But the film is like, no, they're not.
No, they're not. So Marvin threatens Lucy. This is just behind the curtain onto the catwalk. He says, you walk. All you have to do for me is walk, and afterwards I'm going to make you a millionaire. And he shoves Lucy out onto the catwalk. Legally Distinct Smells Like Teen Spirit plays. It is
not that legally distinct.
Not that legally distinct. Yeah.
And they're like,
illegally distinct.
surely Kurt Cobain's estate hasn't been settled yet. Probably no one knows who's got the rights to this at the moment.
Yeah, probably. So Lucy walks hesitantly and nervously to the middle of the catwalk. She looks down at the mirrored surface and she doesn't like how she looks. And then she goes, ah! And starts tearing off all of her accessories and hurling them into the crowd and just generally going ape. Now, for some reason, Jean-Michel, who hired Lucy to do exactly what she's doing right now, which is to go primal and ape and behave like a cave woman.
Yeah.
He starts freaking out. He runs up to Lucy on the catwalk. He says, what are you doing? She's trying to ruin me. Get security. Everyone in the crowd is freaking out and loving it. This could not be going better from a fashion show point of view.
Yeah.
Everyone in the crowd is like, they're all in. They're like, we love Lucy. It's so great. We love what she's doing. She's doing exactly the kind of angry, unhinged performance he wanted, and he just like basically tries to like rugby tackle her to the ground. And then
he's like, "No, what are you doing?" And Marvin comes on stage.
He says, "What's wrong with you? Are you a crazy animal?" That's what you wanted.
That was the brief, you clowns. Your exact words.
And then Marvin runs out as well and says, you've washed my career down the toilet. And then she headbutts him. Security shows up. Everyone's like booing security because they love Lucy. And
suddenly,
this was exactly the plan, Jean-Michel. This was exactly the plan.
Yeah.
I hate this film.
So David, having been given a leg up by Roger, is now on top of the set in his caveman outfit. And he says, Lucy, look, I'm up here. Lucy, she's being manhandled by cops. And I'm like, David, now is not the time.
Yeah.
But he swings down on an electrical cable like Tarzan and he grabs her out of the hands of the cops. Everyone cheers and the police agree to not continue trying to arrest Lucy. I guess.
They land about 5 feet from the end of the catwalk, still in sort of earshot and eye line of every single person who was there a minute ago.
Yeah.
And he says, he's so sorry, I love you, and kisses her. And she says, David.
You said my name, says David.
Yeah.
I love you.
Which is what he just said to her. So I think she's just sort of parroting it back at him. But they kiss, and then immigration services show up. And then this happens.
Sorry to break up your little love thing. Deportation papers. She's going back to Hungary.
Well, she's not from... She can't go. Isn't there anything I can do?
There's nothing you can do.
Well, she's an American citizen.
We're married to one.
Married to one?
For God's sake.
For Jesus Christ in heaven's sake.
We cut to years later. David and Lucy drop their kids off at school. The kids jump out of the boot of the car and one of them has a wooden club for some reason.
She's genetically cave person.
Genetically emerged from the womb with the club. Lucy can speak now, and she's about to say some lines, but luckily Dave interrupts in voiceover and says, she went from saying 2 words to learning 2 million. She takes my breath away. She's cool, she's smart, and I adore her, especially when she orders me around. Kiss me, says Lucy, and Dave obliges.
Yeah.
So that's how I fell in love with a cave woman. I highly suggest you try it. The camera pans out, the words "the end" come up, and we cut straight to, up next, police are investigating a double shooting in the city. One of the men has died. We'll have the latest. End of broadcast. I mean, the tonal whiplash, it could not be more shocking. I mean, at least I guess you'll meet a dog that took a bite out of crime.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
And the boy who got hit by a train didn't die. presumably. His toes were severed.
Yeah, I did what I could to try and Google the boy who at age 12 in 1996 got his toes cut off by a train. I couldn't find any information. If you happen to be that boy...
and you're listening.
Please write in.
Write in.
Write in and tell us what it was like growing up watching TV in this sort of format. It's
what it was like having your toe trauma kind of juxtaposed with the worst film ever made.
God, I hate this film.
I hate it.
I hate the way. I hate the way it was presented. But I do. I think I'm pretty sure that even if I'd watched this without ads, we would, and kind of find out what the news was at 11. I'd still be saying it was one of the worst ones.
I don't think there's a question. I think this genuinely may be the worst film I've ever seen. It's got no redeeming qualities.
Nope, I'm not. I like... no. Can I read you an email?
Yes, please.
I mean, okay, it's actually been a little while since I had that very, very special Mum Can't Cook feeling where we come to the end of a recap and I feel like I need to say more. I feel like I should say more. I feel like I've not managed to get across the depth and the breadth of my loathing for this movie.
Yeah.
But there is no more to say. I'm pretty sure we've covered it. I think you probably got the picture, right? You got the picture.
I think so. I mean, it's like you don't need to spend any longer in the swimming pool full of acid to know that it's a bad experience. You come out, your skin is peeling off your body.
Yeah.
Smoke is rising from your skin.
Yes.
You don't need to explain to anyone why it's bad to get in the swimming pool full of acid.
Yeah, and if people were watching you having just come out of the acid pool, they would look at you to like basically a sort of skeleton with bits of drippy skin. And I think those people would say, and you're the listeners, the listeners are the people in this situation.
Yeah.
I think you would say, you don't have to go back in. We understand. I understand
also,
what happened.
Yeah. You don't need to explain to me why that wasn't good.
Yeah.
I can tell by looking at your acided skeleton.
Yeah. I feel like an acided skeleton.
I feel
Luckily, I've got some brilliant emails from our wonderful community of listeners who will heal my skin and my flesh. This comes from, this is all on the subject of Congo, you'll be glad to know. This is from AC. Dear Luke and Andy, I greatly enjoyed your Congo episode. There was a conversation regarding the use of Egyptian hieroglyphs and Cleopatra's guard dogs kind of scenario. I'd like to inform you that we do have evidence that baboons were used as guard animals in ancient Egypt. Here is a relief from the tomb of Tepemank from the 5th dynasty of Egypt, 25th century BC, 24th century BC, of a thief in a marketplace being caught by a security baboon.
Oh my God.
Love the podcast, and I look forward to future episodes. Andy, I'm going to send you a relief of a security baboon apprehending a thief, and I want you to describe it.
When you say caught by a security baboon.
Yes. No, look.
Okay, I'm going to look at this.
Okay.
Okay. There is a man, he's pushing a barrel full of stolen goods.
To be fair, it's
a baboon.
To be fair, what kind of quick getaway were you going to make with this many stolen goods? It's like a huge crate.
It's like a shopping trolley with the week's shop in it.
Yeah.
A baboon is holding onto his leg.
And
a man is looking at it as if to say, good.
I think it looks like the security baboon is on a kind of leash.
Yeah.
There may be two baboons on leashes. Now, all I would say is, are we sure this isn't a badly drawn dog?
Yeah. Also, what is the baboon bringing to this that a human couldn't?
I don't know. The human's right there, leg. And he's got like a kind of stick. It looks like he's
holding two baboons. I feel like a man holding two baboons on a leash is less effective at stopping people from doing things, because the baboons at any point could go ape.
Yes. Also, baboons are so fast. Imagine if you had to try and keep up with chasing baboons because you've got them on a short leash, and you're like, please, please, slow down.
I think the unpredictable nature of baboons means that a man holding two of them on leashes is probably not going to be able to get much done.
I know. This comes via Kim, who says, Andy and Luke, I'm thrilled to be able to answer a question you asked on the podcast. I am a medical doctor and can confirm you can... brackets, sort of, die of fright.
Oh, God.
Adrenaline causes the heart to beat faster and stronger, increasing calcium into the cells. This prepares you for fight or flight as a response to danger. However, in very rare cases, this could lead to ventricular fibrillation, a very irregular and fast contraction of the heart, which can't maintain blood flow and causes cardiac arrest. This is more likely if you have a pre-existing heart condition and a massive surge of adrenaline. So yes, you can die of fright, but it's actually the adrenaline from the fight or flight response that leads to this, and it's really rare. Thank you, Kim, for letting us know that you can technically possibly die of fright. I find it hard to believe that's what happened to everyone in Congo who saw an ape.
Yeah. And thank you for being a medical doctor and not a serial killer and writing that in. That was good.
Thanks. Oh, also, one more. Remember in Zapped, the baffling meter, the applausometer, that was like, what the hell is this? It doesn't make sense. I think we actually have an answer. We posted it on Instagram, and like, anyone know WTF this is? And commenter SkimShady87 says that it's a VU meter. And yeah, looking up a VU meter, I think this is what it is. It's a way of displaying the signal level in audio equipment. And from my limited understanding, basically a VU meter was how you used to measure loudness, typically in like the olden days of mastering, the analog days. And it's since been superseded by like decibels and lufs as a sort of audio scale.
Right.
But this baffling thing that goes from 20 to 0 and then up to like 4 again.
Completely unreadable. It's not the sort of thing you would use for an applausometer at a sports game.
No, probably not.
Probably not.
But it does make me think there is something quite endearing, I think, about the idea of the graphics people in Zapped maybe being from a sort of old school world of audio metering where they're like,
yeah.
I know what this should be, a VU meter. They'll put it up and it'll be like, okay.
Oh, man. When I first started working at Microsoft, one of the American video team would only edit in Avid, which is like a film editing.
Yes. Old school
system.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, well, you know, it's like, that's the, and we're like, we're making YouTube, like basically YouTube videos. And he's like, no, you've got to, if he could have been cutting these things on film, he would have been.
Yes.
So yeah, I can imagine that. But yeah, everything took him like 6 times as long as everyone else.
Did you remember like when I used to write scripts, and again, I've only ever written scripts for stupid YouTube videos, but, and I can't remember where I picked this up, but I used to write UPSOT. UPSOT.
Oh, upsot. Yeah.
Upsot.
What does that mean?
Up sound on tape. But
right.
But it's like so basically like in a video, if there's, you know, I'm talking for a bit and then there's 2 seconds of like the sound of the game, you would be like up sound on tape, like, and now we'll get a few seconds of like NPC character saying this or whatever. Yeah. Upsot, you big stupid jellyfish or whatever. And like
it's like a cargo cult.
Yeah.
We're just like going through the motions of like the past of the industry.
Yes. Why was I writing? Where did I get that? I might have got that from Johnny Chiodini. They used to work at ITN, which was, you know, sort of...
interesting.
Had that kind of, you know, the trad vestiges.
Yeah, still had that
like,
real television.
Yeah. Anyway. Thank you very much for your emails. They are wonderful. They've been really spectacular. And please get in touch about Encino Woman. I don't know what in particular I want to know about it. Probably nothing. Just I don't know. If you have any treasure related to Encino Woman, let us know at momcan'tcookpod@gmail.com. Or if you want to email us about anything else, how to dispose of a horse corpse, for example, then you can do so at that email address.
We also have a Patreon with additional bonus episodes of Mum Can't Cook, where Luke and I are currently recapping the Disney Channel adjacent TV series, Erie, Indiana, which is a spooky supernatural kids show that is absolutely bonkers and brilliant. We also have 3 whole seasons of So Weird, which is similarly supernatural and great. If you head to patreon.com/extra helpings, you can sign up and listen to the massive archive over there, as well as join us for things like watch-alongs and get your name in the credits of the main feed episodes.
Yeah, maybe you got a vacation coming up or a big drive or something where it would be useful to have hours and hours and hours of stacked up, enjoyable bonus nonsense. Why not go to patreon.com/extra helpings and join the party? Andy, what are we going to do next on the podcast?
The next decon we'll be covering on the podcast, Luke, is 2012's Radio Rebel. I will now read you the description from Amazon Prime, because for some reason it's not on Disney+.
What?
Even though it is a Disney Channel original movie. I guess
shame.
Forgot to register the copyright or something. Anyway, the story follows Tara Adams, an introverted high school junior who, alone in her room at home, casts herself as Radio Rebel, host of a nightly podcast on which she showcases her passion for music and self-expression. However, at school, a shy Tara can't bring herself to speak in class, especially when the newly popular rocker Gavin is around.
Oh my God, I can't wait for Gavin!
Gavin!
Hell yes, Gavin. Brilliant.
Anything that isn't Encino Woman.
Yeah, I think I've seen enough decoms now to basically tell you the plot of Radio Rebel now. But
I'm watching Radio Rebel in my head right now.
Yeah,
and
here we go.
Yeah, there it is.
It's
done.
Let's go and get.
I've
Yeah,
finished it.
exactly. Oh no, what's this? It's 60 minutes, and she's been humiliated by the.
She's been revealed as Radio Rebel, and now everyone is angry at her for lying.
Her
to
best
them.
friend is
my
cross.
God.
But don't worry, because with incredible regularity, Disney Channel original movies will throw us an insane curveball, and I can't wait to see what Radio Rebels is.
Yeah, so come on back next time for Radio Rebel. We'll see you in 2 weeks or in 1 week if you sign up to the Patreon at patreon.com/extra helpings. Although actually, Luke, I'm just looking at the podcast app here. It looks like someone's launched a new podcast called Dad Can't Cook. It's a sort of fresh gender swapped take. Oh no, we're in trouble.
Oh no. Wait, hang on. Will it be of the quality? Let me just listen to it now. Yeah, it's mostly kind of news broadcasts about people getting hurt by trains. I think we're okay.
Right.
Although that is what our podcast is now.
Yeah, so what you're saying is it's exactly the same as ours, and we are in trouble.
Oh no.
Oh God. In summary, Encino Woman. Thanks for listening. Bye. Hey, Luke, another great day of being Michael Eisner's assistants. I'm just going through his...
Hey, it's me,
What?
Fun Police. Stop this bit. Stop it.
Oh, okay.
Cease the bit. Have you ceased it?
I've ceased most of it.
Well, put it all down. Empty your pockets of
fine, I'll
bits.
stop it. No
Put it
bits.
on the ground. Kick it over to me.
Okay,
Good.
here it is.
All right. I'm frisbeeing it into a canal. Right, it's me, the Fun Police. I'm here to tell you that things are getting out of control with these Patreon usernames. Now listen. We like the meta where you make us read stuff out. We don't mind.
It's fun.
We don't mind. It's
good.
I'm telling you it's okay. I'm telling you that it's okay. But look, here's the thing, that we have to draw the line somewhere, and we've decided where we draw the line is we're going to have to start beeping some of these usernames, so don't get annoyed if there's a beep in your name.
Yeah.
If you don't want a beep in your name, don't make your name something about being off.
Okay, we have to beep that now.
No. And also, we're going to have to be Fun Police about usernames that recommend other works or TV shows or podcasts or whatever, because we simply don't have the time or, dare I say it, the energy to go and check if they're really horrible and problematic, which they haven't been so far, but it's been quite a lot of effort to check, okay?
Yeah, all right. So thank you, Fun Police.
Thanks.
We won't do it again. All right. Anyway, what a great day of being Michael Eisner's assistants.
Oh,
Luke.
yeah, man.
It's been, as you know,
great.
Mr. Eisner, he likes to have people sort of come into his office and tell them about his problems, apparently.
Yes. He's got an open door policy. Anyone can wander in.
Yeah.
No matter how important the work he's doing seems to be, at any point you can interrupt him and say, put down those plans for a good Disneyland Paris. I've got something important to tell you right now, Mr. Eisner, and it won't wait.
Oh no, a breeze has blown the plans out of the open window. They floated across onto the freeway, and now they're being all run over. Now it's all got ruined. Now the plans look like a bad Disneyland Paris.
Oh dear.
Look, this Hollywood Studios looks awful.
Okay, well, look, who's booked in to see Mr. Eisner today?
Well, it seems to be mostly caveman-related problems. It seems that a lot of cavemans have recently unthawed, and they're disrupting a lot of industries. It seems like we've got a complaint here. These guys want to come in and talk to Mr. Eisner. From Michael Olsen, Teenage Luke's Vengeful Drum Kit. Hi, it's me again, Bird. David Ormond, Eddie's $1 Million Dog Romance competitor. Mythical Murderous Milkman. Sean wielding Luke's hot whap laser, Jeebus Piers Jones, Eclair, and Tim Craven. They're all musicians, and they say that cavemen are really messing things up. Apparently, their rhythmic stone bonks are a hit. Bruno Mars is using them to produce his new album, and actual producers are out on their ear.
Oh no!
So what's Michael Eisner going to do about it?
Well, that's not the only industry that's having a mirror held up to it by cavemen.
Okay.
Here I've got Mar H, Frou Frou, Frilly, Silly Face, Shoo Shoo, Hypermole, Danny Boyer, Homemade Mask, Morgana Wallace, Cropolio, The Scouring Sandpaper Hand that you off, Limited Patience, Brackets Kiz, Michael Hayden, and Leon's Little Kennedy. They're all postal workers, and they say that they've been working in the postal service, but recently a thawed out caveman started working there. Instead of delivering mail, he's been like smashing it and eating it and turning it into sort of dust and screaming at it on the floor. And actually, that's making people realise that they don't want their parcels delivered, and that they've sort of been like in the thrall of receiving mail, and actually that it's better if we just get our posts smashed up. It's better this way.
Revolution.
Yeah.
Be free.
Revolution, be free, smash mail.
After that, we've got Chase Baker, smashed Savannah Burger Boys and Girl, Ethan Pearson, Adam Steele, Andrew the Osteogent, Adam Snigg, Paul Stokes, The Monk, Kate Tweedy, Will Thomas, and Purple Disarray. They're all actors. They work in the acting profession, and apparently audiences don't want to concentrate on words and phrases and stuff. Guttural grunting and screaming is where it's at.
I
who
see.
better placed to take advantage of this than the recently unthawed cavemen who are flooding our society?
Oh boy. Well, here we go. Here from the Doctors Union, we've got Courtney Rail, Julian Rundlet, Hannah Kirchner, Mr. Homolka, Stop Eating My Poppy Seed Cake, Christoph, Simon Gansel, Ben from Finance, Blake, Book Goblin, Richard Martin, I Cry Like Luke When I'm Pregnant, Molly and Bronk presents Sex Weird. They're complaining that in hospitals a thawed out caveman has become a doctor and has stopped prescribing any kind of medicine that isn't mammoth entrails. It seems like it's really catching on. Patients are saying, hey, why should I listen to modern science when I could be eating mammoth entrails? It seems to be a panacea. The only problem is there are no mammoth entrails anywhere ever, so everyone's getting really, really ill.
Yeah, that's a problem for society as a whole, I think. Maybe cavemen will fix it. Who knows? The next appointment is for Herkimer Hulkamania, formerly of Space, Andy Meany, Andrew's Ape Army, Big Bro Bronk Bonks, Moody Mommy Molly, Andrea Pallas, Mike Kavanagh, Autumn Holloway, Luke in the Hat, Psycho Wa13ard, Tilly Everoa, and Tony B. They all work in dog grooming. And apparently all these cavemen have come out and they've totally disrupted the industry by partially eating dogs. And now that's the hip new look for dogs, is to be partially eaten. So what are they supposed to do? They're just normal dog groomers. They're not going to eat a dog.
No, they're not. No, that's not something that normal dog groomers tend to do, is it?
No.
Brody, Tyrell, Ben the Bar Guy, Diving Wombat, Andrew and Krista, Come Back Here You Gremlins, Will Hutter, Zora Stingray, Ian Admire, Out of Touch Baby, Superfluous Capital, Ash, and the stuff in the back of the milk truck brackets Dead Kids. They are from the military, and they say that sales of weapons have gone way down. The only contractor apparently now that the military is interested in is big wooden clubs and sharp piece of saber-tooth bone that can be sort of jabbed into your enemy. We've gone back to a kind of Paleolithic warfare. Actually sounds quite good. So I'm gonna cancel their appointment with Mr. Eisner.
Yeah.
I think this is an upgrade.
This is good stuff. Okay, in that case, we'll shuffle up Keith Hall, John Sharplin, Elizabeth, Jack Fabian, Z-Man, I'm Andy and I Love Ape Movies, Nurse Jake, Dave Goddard, Rob Friesen, E.T. and Carl the Jedi. So apparently Josh D'Amaro is out at Disney Parks. A caveman has been installed as the president of Disney Parks, and he's tearing down the rides to make room for grassy plains where guests can spend 4 to 6 hours a day foraging and hunting for food. And these folks aren't happy about it.
Okay. All right, well, I've got Matt S. here, Andy's parents, travelling chip salesman, Clarky the bearded coach driver, Sea Hunter, Snowy Owl, Seish, Ape takes troubling stance, Rhyme Edema, Business Corky, Michael Saul, and Phil Stevens. They are from the shipbuilding industry, and they're saying that they've been hit really hard since a cave person got thawed out and took over, because they just stand at the edge of the ocean and scream at it in fear. So no one's building ships anymore. Apparently it's no longer in fashion.
No.
All shipbuilding.
Maybe a leather coracle.
Yes, that could that's good. All right, I'll tell them that. No need to see Eisner. He'll just tell you to build leather coracles, so just do that.
Just do that. So, okay, in that case, I'll shuffle in Who Needs to Sleep, Angel Beat, Uncensored End Credit Username, Louise Lola, Daniel Rogers, Clint Hannah Lopez, Duchess, Lucas Johnson, Danny Cap, R Book Monster, and Sartha173. They all work in finance, but it turns out that a prehistoric system of barter is actually preferable to what we've got going on now, and people are starting to notice.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
More trouble here for Liz L, Darius Emmanuel Grouch IV, aka The Grumble, aka Carl, Apes, Alan St. George, Prince Reynard, Sam Rowland, Cara Dennison, A Man Who Rejoices in the Name Herkimer Homolka, Quinn is Teething, and Anna Petahova. They are from the meat industry, And it seems that because since a caveman took over, nobody wants to eat things like chickens and bovines and porcines and all the other things that we normally eat. Now they only want to, sort of like forage small mammals and again, mammoth entrails. So yeah, sales are falling all over the world. People are starting to get hip to this let's eat mammoth entrails sort of thing.
Disaster.
The only problem, there are no mammoth entrails.
So you can see it's quite a thorny situation.
It is, yeah.
Final appointment of the day, we've got Heth, Will Pohoretsky, brackets reformed Mr. Wilson name, Minnie, Moist Strippings, Sarah Mattox, Adam Cuddy Routh, Irish Femboy Down Da Road, # release, Alex and Daisy and Bailey too, and Happy Mother's Day, Michelle Arbogast. They are all former influencers, but it turns out that cavemen make surprisingly good influences. There was the paleo diet, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Now everyone's doing caveman everything, eating raw meat, dying before the age of 5 from dehydration, infection, malnutrition, etc. It's all the rage at the moment, and they're out on their ear. They're not getting sent any more cosmetics packages and things.
Okay, well, I'll be honest, Andy. It sounds like the emergence of these cave people is making society considerably better.
Good point. In which case, Mr. Eisner would probably want to shut it down, wouldn't he? Let's just cancel all these appointments, and then they can just carry on as they are. And Michael's in there. He's going to be in the lift for a while, I think.
No need to trouble the big E with
no need to trouble Big E.
Big E, the big E's as he likes to be called.